Travis Carter on Carter's Corner. Now, we have a very, very entertaining show for you, but before we get into that, we do need to hit up the disclaimer. So we'll be heading to that, and then after that, we will introduce all our guests, and we're going to doozies. It'll be hilarious. I'm just checking with our producer. Are we streaming live once again on the good old Facebook, aka Stalkbook? Awesome. Love it. So make sure you check it out. Also, if you are listening and the reception is terrible, you can listen live online, 897fm.com.au. I'll be right back after this quick disclaimer.
Opinions expressed on Carter's Corner dependent of the opinions of Radio 89.7 FM's Wise Board, talented management and wonderful sponsors. Carter's Corner respects the right of each individual to hold and express an opinion unfettered by the shackles of political correctness and without fear of quivering in the quicksand of cancel culture. Radio is for entertainment, not censorship.
Love that music. I thought I did pretty well with that. So for those who don't know, that is the ABC theme song from, I think it's 1954. So no, apparently we are not breaking copyright, which is awesome. Now, in the studio today, we're going to start in the middle on the blue mic. We got Bass, and I know you can't see colours on radio, but you can see it in the land of Facebook. Mm-hmm. So say hello, Bass.
Hello.
A little bit loud, that's all good. Now, over in the yellow mic, we have Elaine back again, once again. Welcome, Elaine.
Thank you, Travis. Nice to be here.
Fantastic. You're coming through beautifully. And now our celebrity, our superstar, the fantastic Jenny, the tarot reader. So say hi to the camera, Jenny.
Hello.
Awesome. So bit of fun to kick off the show today. We wanted to have a look at looking into the future. And what better way to do that and then to get a tarot reader into the station. So we have Jenny all the way here from
Ballajura.
From Ballajura. So Jenny is here to help us predict and see into the cosmic insight of the universe. I don't know what tarot readers actually do, so I'm kind of making it up as I go. She's hopefully going to tell us what's going to happen. So I'm going to throw it over to you, Jenny. What do we do?
Well, there's 7 different readings you can do, but I thought the one I'd do today is just a 3-card reading, which is past, present and future.
Okay.
So it gives you an idea of where it's been, where it is at the moment, and the possibilities of what could happen.
Fantastic. So I have no idea what we do next. So what do we need to do? So we do have a candidate here in Bass.
Well, she's going to tell us basically how many seats in the upper house Health Australia Party is going to win. Or she could just tell us how many seats or how many votes I'm going to get because I only need 1 seat.
No. Sorry, I was just teasing Bass a little bit. No.
Not true.
So I'm going to throw it back to Jenny. So how do we do this? Do you draw the cards? Do I draw the cards? Do we shuffle? I've seen on movies where they get people to shuffle cards and...
Make sure all equipment's, glued down.
Yeah.
No, it's basically just I go through the cards, feel an energy, and break them apart through that.
Fantastic. So let's get into it. One other thing we do need to do is just a quick message to the people out there listening. If they do have questions for any of our guests, they can get them through on the text line, so 0418 897 897. We also have the producer out of the room. He will be monitoring the Facebook, the YouTubes, and all the other socials for any questions that come through on that as well. So make sure you get your questions through. Get them through to us and we'll have a look and see if we can get them onto air for you.
It's such a pleasure having a celebrity. What would you call it? Card reader?
Yes.
Not clairvoyant?
I'll have to remind my husband of that.
Okay. Well, this is recorded, so every time he says, woman, go do something, you go, hey, record. Celebrity. So, yeah.
That's right. We can show him the videos, the live streaming, and then the radio recording. Hey, celebrity.
Oh, most definitely.
I'm going to throw a quick question to the producer. Are you able to see the cards at all? Dwayne, he's not paying attention. Can we see the cards on the camera?
I don't think so.
Yes, we can. Fantastic. So I've never seen these sort of cards before. So I'm seeing an eye, I'm seeing a colourful logos infinity, and some
beautiful infinity symbol.
These ones are quite different cards because they work with an energy called orosoma. so they have colour with them as well.
Oh, beautiful. That looks like a perfume bottle to
That's what everyone says. When they're set up at the shows, they say, is that perfume? It's like, no, it's not.
So, okay, fantastic. So
what is it? Aerosoma. Is
Aura.
it oil?
Aurasoma.
Aurasoma.
It's oil and water so that you get the separation of them.
Okay.
But every bottle contains 49 energies, so they work by the 7x7 through the Kabbalah.
Okay, fantastic. So, I can see a pink card with an eye, and a blue card with, like, it looks like rain.
The
because I'm
infinity
looking at
symbol in the middle. There's a bit of a balance
and
there.
the squirrely thing on the top. So it's like, red and blue.
Well,
so,
it's interesting. I did sort of a practice reading yesterday, and this card came out every single time in the same spot. So
accuracy. So all the disbelievers out there, accuracy. We can measure the accuracy. So
And there's something else that I've noticed on these cards. There's numbers. Is this to do anything with numerology or?
it does work with numerology, but it's mainly the actual number of the tarot, because tarot is a story.
Right.
So it starts off with a fool's journey and works through it from there.
Okay,
fantastic.
great.
So, do we start on any card or
This one here?
on the pink one?
Yep.
You know
Chalice.
what? Now that I'm looking at it, it kind of looks like a nose and two eyes.
It's a chalice, Trevor, with a lovely lady sort of capturing the pour. It's like almost like the infinite. What would you call it? Like the ever flow of life is what she's capturing.
Pretty spot on.
Are we allowed to
Well
pick them up and show the
Sure.
camera? Do you mind just doing it? Because I can't reach from here. So that's the first card that came up. So if you turn it upside down, you can see what I mean. It looks kind of like a face and a nose. See, look, that is such a face and a nose. So, okay. Anyway, so what does that card represent for the
Well, funnily enough, being past influences, this one, the saying that goes with it is you have to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Right.
And if that doesn't represent politics, I don't know what does.
Wow.
Definitely the current
That's
system.
accurate.
It's the current system that we need to walk away
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
Oh, that's just classic. So accuracy, 100%. Hell yeah.
Because it's the Two of Pentacles, it's about finding balance in a physical way. And the need sometimes to take something from one area so that the other area can be fixed. But finding that balance is the important thing. And having the faith to know that it's going to keep on flowing the way it is, providing the thought of what you're doing is correct.
See, that's kind of interesting because one of the big issues, especially with this current election, everyone's thinking Labor is going to have an absolute whitewash. They're going to win everything. And the whole way our democracy works is on balance. Having as what they call a hung parliament is really, really good because it generates that debate, that generates that conversation. So, yeah, that balance card is super, super important, especially in Australia.
It's been really interesting to see in the media of late articles being published to say it's going to be a Labor landslide, and in the same breath they say stop voting for the smaller parties because if you vote for the smaller parties, it's a risk of Labor losing a seat. And you think, hang on a minute, which one is it? Are you hoping for a landslide, or are you predicting it maybe, but you're threatened by the smaller parties, so you're trying to, push away from it. Very, very biased media.
Okay. So with the balance card, sorry, I forgot, what was it called again?
It's the Two of Pentacles.
Two of Pentacles. So that's only about the past, is that correct?
This is the past influences, but
Okay.
you've got the 77 there as well. Anything with 11 in it's a master energy. But the 7 energy, it goes back to a card called the Chariot, which is about choices. There's a light path and there's a dark path. And this is where the need of balance comes in. Because if you're going to do the things the hard way, obviously they're going to be difficult. But if you're going to turn it around the other way, it'll be easier. So
what do you think, Elaine?
The need to walk on the right pathway helps you move forward to find the balance.
Hey, I find this all really, really interesting. I absolutely love it. Jenny, tell us more.
She's intrigued.
Wow, that's... And my mum used to always say you learn about your past mistakes, so I think that's quite a relevant card.
Oh, we can always hope.
Now, I'm really fascinated by the blue and red one.
The blue and red. The bottle for this is interesting. It's called Get Up and Go, and it's red and blue, which is what, as soon as my daughter saw it, she said, oh, look at the colours, Mum.
Is it about taking action? Is that what Get Up and Go is?
It is, but it's also because it is the Eight of Wands. Wands is to do with our spirit energy more than our physical. So it's really about understanding that to be constantly moving, constantly changing is most important. To be stuck in a place is where things will not work anymore.
Getting out of stagnation.
Yeah.
Question. So this card's about the current, what's happening. So do you think that card is in relations to the Liberal Party's policies, especially like cancelling coal and collie? Could this be an indication of what's currently happening on that regard?
I have to be honest, I don't go into a lot of politics.
No. Well, I'm thinking it's get up and go away from Labor and look at something new, is what I was thinking.
It's about get up and go, make changes, make things happen. Don't allow things to stagnate. Don't allow things to stay in the same place. The card, in a general sense, represents travel. And travel is a movement. It's about change. Maybe it's about the borders being opened. I don't know.
Great. That would be...
I like you, Jenny. I like you. Is there anything else that card tells us? It's because on the first card it had 77. And
yeah,
on the second
now we're
card
going down
29.
to an 11 again. 2 and 9 is 11 again.
Yeah.
And if you look at that one, it goes to an 8. So they're all really tying in well. So, but yeah, this one here with the 29, the 2 is the High Priestess. So she's about saying, okay, so I know that what I can see, but I know there's more to learn. So it's about not being arrogant, but to understand, but there's more there to see what's there. And then you've got the Hermit in the number 9, and he says, go within. Stop looking at everything else around you and go within and hear the truth from there.
Well, that's definitely speaking to me because I've been getting up and going. Travis, you know, I basically hired a motorhome, took my family, 3 kids, my beautiful wife, and went down to Esperance. Over 1,700 kilometres of driving in that week. And the feeling that I got was, you're doing enough work on the outside, you've got to go back within now and just believe that this is going where it needs to go, about balance. And is it okay to touch the cards?
Go for it.
You know what I'm seeing here? I'm seeing a sea of red and blue and a little touch of green, and it's time for us to start looking outside of those colours and look at Health Australia Party.
Hang on, isn't the Health Australia Party green as well?
No, it's actually white, but we have the text in green.
Yeah, so
it's white. It's white because it's pure, it's balanced, and it's centred, Travis.
That's what we need, centred, more
I
centred.
know Travis is looking for the orange. I know that deep down.
No, it's I'll explain off air. So
Sure.
I don't want to get this. I've got this station into trouble a few times with a few comments.
Yes.
And so we'll be nice for now.
Don't be shy now.
So what we haven't done is, because it is a weird angle for the camera. Do you mind just showing the card to the camera just so people can see? See, the art, I have to say, give credit to whoever drew these cards out. They did
Very
a
artistic.
phenomenal job.
They are beautiful cards, yeah.
Now, if someone is very, very fresh to the whole tarot reading and the mystic arts, sorry, I don't know what to call it. How do they learn? How do they start doing this sort of stuff?
Well, you just need to get your first packet of tarot cards, start learning the basics of what they are. The basic one is called Rider-Waite. They call it the teaching pack because what you see on the picture is very much what it is. And you learn from a book to start with, and then you just need to trust your gut instinct.
Okay, fantastic.
It's a great way for people to actually build their intuition because the cards kind of talk to you in a way. I mean, they don't get up and start speaking to you, but they do speak to you through numbers, through pictures, through colours, if you're willing to explore that side of you. So I think it's definitely a great thing. Maybe more men need to look at this as well. How old is this deck of cards? Because it looks like it's one you've cherished for a long time.
About 18 years.
18 years,
Yeah.
there you go. It's probably older than the lovely young student that we have in the back room there that's on camera.
Okay, no, it didn't come up. It's all good. Now, we are up to the last card.
Yes.
So can we just show you the camera so people can see it? It's an awesome eye, and are they 2 swords on it?
Yeah,
No, they're
2
like
wands.
stars. 2 wands, and I can see some leaves and stuff like that. So that's the future card. All right, so
Great.
predict
Talk to us.
our future.
Yeah.
Are we totally screwed?
Doesn't look that way.
It all depends how people look, because if you look at the bottle itself, it's called kindness.
Wow. The future
colour
holds
of the
kindness.
bottle is pink and purple for those that
Yes.
didn't see. So pink and purple.
Yeah.
So kindness.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
where the future needs to go. The 2 of wands is literally a person standing on the edge and looking out saying, where am I going to go? What are my choices? I need to look within. I need to understand who I am so that I can move in the right direction. It goes down to the 8. So always moving, always changing.
So I wonder if that's predicting something for the leader of the Liberal parties. He's out of cuspis. He's going to make a decision where his future goes.
I think he'd be better off finding a different career. That's just my personal opinion.
I didn't say that. Just for the listeners out there who want to complain to the board, it was not me. It was Bass.
Look, I personally like the man. I don't think there's anything wrong with him other than his surname and the fact that he came out and said we're going to lose before it's even been done. Who does that? What kind of leadership is that? It's a complete cop-out. Unless that is a strategy for people to feel sorry for him, then that's that. I guess, I don't know, not a marketing strategy I would employ. But no, I think definitely looking for a different career is a great move for him.
I don't know if he's able to, because my understanding is he's only been in politics. Like, he left university and went straight into a staffer's role.
Oh, well, that sounds a lot like the Labor's campaign beating him up. He's never had a job. He doesn't know what he's doing. They put the learner plates on him. And they're beating him up so hard.
Learner plates, isn't it leader plates?
I'm not sure. Or is it L for loser? I mean, well, that's by his own proclamation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we've just had a text message come through from Caitlin and Michael.
People you know?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see this
I've heard
coming
of
on
them
the cards?
somewhere.
So the text message says, having fun, Mum.
Thanks, Caitlin. I am. Are you?
Great support.
So a big shout out to Caitlin and Michael for supporting their mum in this. So well done, guys. Thank you for listening. Make sure you share and get your friends into it. Like, really spread the embarrassment for your mum.
She will.
Or support, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. It's a support.
No, it's Caitlin. It will be embarrassment.
Yeah. Well, Caitlin, you can watch this live, by the way. It's streaming on Facebook on Carter's Corner.
Yep, and it is also quite a few other sites across the world of Facebook. So make sure you do listen into that one. Now, I do have to be careful with the timing on this one. So we do have a few messages from our sponsors. So we are going to go to that. I would love you to stick around more, and because this is fascinating. So I want to ask you some more questions about what other things they can work out from the cards, and because not much actually came from Labor. So I was wondering, is there any way we can find out maybe Labor, how many seats the Labor Party is going to win, how many...
or we don't have to labour the point at all.
Shocking,
boom, boom.
Bass. Shocking. Because the other thing I want to do is I want to see how accurate this is compared to, there's a place that has... So with horses, and you can make money off it, and because it's a community radio, we've got to get people to read between the lines on this one.
Sure.
So I want to see how accurate tarot card reading is compared to that place.
It wouldn't be an app for gambling where the...
Oh, no, it's definitely not an app.
Certainly not.
Not something where bookies actually make
No, definitely
calls.
not. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, so I do need to go to a song, and did it queue up? Yes, it definitely did. So we're going to a message from our sponsors, and they'll be right back after this. So this is Carter's Corner. We're on 89.7, and you can listen live at 897fm.com.au or on the Facebook at Carter's Corner.
Hi, Mum.
Summer's finally here, and the team at Acclaim Landscapes are ready to create that perfect outdoor living space for you and your family to relax and entertain in. With over 25 years' experience in award-winning garden design, along with innovative paving and reticulation work, station sponsor Acclaim Landscapes will guarantee a fantastic outdoor renovation for your home. For more information, call Peter on 0411 851 841.
Are you busy planning the entertainment for your next function? Maybe it's a wedding, a corporate event, or even a party. Then you need to talk to station sponsor Off the Wall Promotions. Off the Wall can provide DJ and MC services, live music and photo booths. They can even live stream your event to anywhere in the world. Operating from Yanchep to Mandurah, Off the Wall Promotions is your total entertainment specialist. Simply search the socials for Off the Wall Promotions or check out their website.
Australia's only top 20 urban radio countdown. Urban Yes.com. Here we go. I'm the definition of a bandit. I'm not breaking off, let me be your motivation. Baby girl, you got it, girl, you got it, girl. I need your boyfriend. I do my head talk, check my legs.
I can't get enough of the music.
UrbanChartHits.com.
Tune in Thursday nights from 6 p.m. right here on 897 FM.
In my head,
I'm just searching for friends like hers. Call you first, and I'll be there when it hurts. I wish I had friends like hers. I love the way that they care for her, and how they're always there. I wish I had someone there for me. I feel like no one is listening. Someday, in the right time, I know that I'll find friends like hers. I've been counting all the days through. I found the ones that I deserve. I'm just searching for friends like her. Friends like her. I'm still searching for friends like hers.
All right, we're back on Carter's Corner. This is 89.7. We've got some fantastic people in the studio today with us. For those that have just tuned in, we've got Bass from Health Australia Party, Agriculture Region, gate crashing the show.
Absolutely.
We've got Elaine from Joondalup. She's actually a local business owner, so that's why we've got her in here. A bit of a local feel. So welcome, Elaine.
Thank you, Travis. Always
And
a
we
pleasure.
have the superstar tarot card reader, Jenny. Did I get it
Hello.
right? Yes.
You did, most definitely.
So, you know when you're talking to someone and you've been talking and you're on like just talk and you don't use names anymore and then you go to get the names and you just have that massive mental blank?
Yeah.
Yeah, mental blank. So Jenny, superstar, ultra, I'm blown away how accurate she's actually been, which is really, really awesome. Tarot card reader. So we were just talking about the past, the present and the future, and it was surprisingly... what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, accurate. I was quite impressed.
Thank
so
you.
I don't know if that's just how you read the cards or whether like when someone says, "Hey, this," and then you look for something that you link to. But I'm shocked, to be honest with you. So we had Bass feeling the cards and touching the cards and shuffling the cards during the break. By the way, that song that just played, I had to do a little bit of a spiel for it. The artist's name is Izellah. I hope I pronounced her name right. So she will be coming into the show for Sue, one of the other presenters out the station here. That's her brand new track. She's just released it. So she will be on Sue's show tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So you can listen live.
She's a local artist?
She's actually from Queensland.
Oh, wow.
I think she's either on tour or she's going to be calling in to promote her new track. So I actually really, really enjoyed that. I wasn't, local music
Nice
sometimes
voice.
is not the
Yeah.
greatest.
It's gorgeous.
Blown away. Really, really good.
Very angelic
So
voice.
9 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning, she will be on the radio having a chat to our very own Sue. So thank you very much for sending the music through, giving us permission to be able to play it, stream it on YouTube and also on our Facebook pages. So thank you very much. So she is from Queensland. She actually played Matilda in Matilda the Musical. So very experienced singer.
Talented.
Wow.
Now, I'm seeing Jenny here. She's doing things and
She's pulling more cards out. Did you
and-
want to speak to the 3 cards that she pulled out for me, though? Or that I pulled out earlier during the break?
I'm going to let Jenny do it. Jenny's in
Do you want to
charge.
sum them up? I can remind you if you like.
Yeah, it was the
first one
Tower was the first card and representing the past, and that's about the foundations that you had, the foundations that you knew in life, pretty much being blown apart. And you allow any mistakes you've made, any questions, you use those to build a stronger foundation. Every time it's pulled apart, you can learn from them and build stronger.
Well, 2020 has definitely done that for a lot of
It
people.
did, yes, yes.
All right, and the second one
The
was
second
justice.
one was justice, and that's about finding balance in things, but it's also not allowing your hearts to be burdened.
Right.
To allow things that don't work with you, that don't fit you, that don't suit you, to be let go of. Because the more you hold on to things, the more difficult it is to move forward into the next part of your journey.
How true. You know, somebody said that to me recently. He said, imagine if you're an octopus and you've got all these tentacles and you're grabbing onto all these things around you. How do you expect yourself to move forward? You've got to let go of some of that stuff to move forward.
Yeah, yeah. And the third card was the Knight of Wands.
Yep.
So that's pretty much you, ready for a new journey. ready to set out for a new adventure and see where you can go. And the colours that went with it is the Florence Nightingale.
Beautiful.
So it's the healing energy. So,
am I going to heal myself?
It's about your
during
connection
this
with the
journey?
universe to work with that and healing that energy.
Okay.
So,
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so I'm seeing, is that like the Jack of Hearts or?
It's the King of Pentacles.
King of Pentacles, so I don't think we can play poker with that one.
No.
He's thinking of 21.
You can actually use a normal deck of cards to do readings with. A
There you
52
go.
pack.
How
I didn't
many
know
people
that.
have normal deck of cards out their house? So that just
Yeah.
means anyone can do this.
Yeah. Because
So-
you got your diamonds. I can't remember which way it is.
Spades
I know
and-
the hearts are the cups and things like that, but the different decks, different suits actually mean different tarot stuff.
Oh,
So you
fantastic.
can use that. But you were talking about the labour.
Yeah.
And so I just thought I'd focus on that and see what would come out.
It's kind of funny you got the king.
I know.
They're currently in power, right?
But it is actually a really good card because this king here, he is about finding the balance for the whole, for the universe, for the world, and thinking of that while he's staying very grounded. So it's actually a really good card. So if a leader can do that, to look at the whole rather than just sections and stay grounded, he could do really well. And of course it goes down to the 11 again. So we've got that master energy, the 11 energy again. But he's got to be very, very aware because of the 6 energy not to get so involved and over-involved in things that he forgets why he's there.
That is actually, when you think about it, some really, really good advice for Mr. McGowan, Martin McGowan, especially considering, I don't know if it was a car accident or not, someone actually put a car into his office. So,
Today, right?
Yeah, literally
Wow,
about
okay.
an hour before the show started. So,
Wow.
I'm wondering if he's starting to get a little bit too big for his britches and people are starting to push back a lot harder than what he expected.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's a very interesting card again.
Yeah, I thought so.
Is that, so that's the past card?
No, I just sort of drew out a general one because with these
Okay.
cards you can do them just by single.
Okay, fantastic.
And then you can break the numbers down from them. So you can do a single card and the 6 and the 5 and the 11 that it breaks down to can do a whole reading just from that.
Okay, fantastic. So that's awesome. We've just had a message. We do need to move along a little bit. So we might quickly jump into another track. So we do need to have a chat to one of our other guests because he's got to bail pretty early. Jenny, we've had a blast. I'd love you to stick around, but I don't know what your time frame's like. Do you mind sticking around for a little bit? Because we just
would
go
love
to another quick message,
Yeah.
and then what we'll do, we will switch one of the panelists out, and we'll get our next guest, who's actually Brett Raponi. He has been on the show before, so he's gracing us with his presence once again. So he is the Liberal candidate for the brand new seat of Landsdale. So he's going to come in, he'll have a chat to us about how campaigning is going, about how the media's been attacking Kirkup, and just a few other things. So it'll be really, really interesting to have a talk to Brett. And there's also a bit of a game that we want to play, so we'll jump into that one. It'll be quite interesting. So I am going to go to a message early. We'll go to a track after that. So the next track's coming up is actually from a group called Cloning, a local group from WA, and their new track is called Messed Up. So we'll go to a quick message and we'll be right back on 89.7 FM.
The City of Joondalup's Customer Service Centre make it easy for you to pay your rates, dog registration and infringement notices, plus receive information on other city services. The centre is located at Joondalup and is open during business hours Monday to Friday.
Need to talk about your alcohol or drug use? The team at Drug Info can answer your questions about the effects of different drugs, including alcohol, illicit and prescribed drugs, and provide advice and practical information. Call 1300 85 8584. It's free and confidential. Call 1300 85 8584. Drug Info is brought to you by the Alcohol and Drug Foundation.
Lock the dial every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. as Alan takes you on a musical journey covering some epic tracks from the 60s to the current era. There are the A and B side vinyls, your classic hits from movie soundtracks, feature artists and the top 40 charts from yesteryear. Get ready to drown your strawberry for your champagne breakfast. Sunday Sounds with Alan only on 89.7 FM and streaming on 89.7fm.com.au.
Sound of the planes up in the evening sky. Can't hear them now with curtains pulled this tight. Buried in screens searching for truths online. Nothing to find. Feel like a tourist in my own hometown. Reynolds and Dan wrapped up in on ice. I'm living under bad advice. Can't control a thing, 'cause I was getting off our exit. My life is a movie about to explode. I wish that I could direct it before it's shown. Where's the best stuff for this age? Neon monster flying minimum wage. Someone get off of my case. What hole happening? I can't afford the train. Where's the best stuff for this age? Neon monster flying before the stage. Someone get off of my case before we're crashing down. Try not to wonder if I swallow when the bubbles are falling down. I wouldn't live if I could hold. Where's the best stuff for this age? Try not to wonder if I swallow. Where's the best stuff for this age? I wouldn't live if I could hold. Where's the best stuff for this age? Try not to wonder if I swallow. Someone get off of my case. I wouldn't
Carter's Corner back again. A little bit of an impromptu break there, but hey, you get that. It's called live radio. You work around the things. So we have had a bit of a change in the lineup. I was going to say changing of the guard, but it's more of a lineup. So welcome back to the guys on Facebook.
Welcome.
Welcome back to the live people. So Carter's Corner, 89.7. We've got obviously Travis Carter and myself on the red mic, Bass on the blue mic, Elaine on the yellow mic. Say hi, Elaine.
Hey.
And the new person, Jenny. No, I'm sorry, Bass.
Travis.
Sorry. We have Brett Raponi.
I did enjoy listening to Jenny, actually.
She was awesome.
The tarot card reading. Pity we had to cut her short.
She's very good.
We'll bring her back. She was quite interesting.
Yeah. Oh, there's more. So she said that she wants to do a bit about the Liberal Party. So pull a card on the Liberal Party, about Zach and a few others. I really want to get her to do yours because your seat is a bit of an unknown because it's a brand new seat.
Yeah, it is. And thanks for having me back in. I really appreciate it. And thank you to the listeners and to the Facebook viewers. It is a brand new seat. It's never been contested before, and it's become quite favourable, if you like, to the Liberal Party in a difficult time. So Landsdale now is the suburbs of Landsdale, Madeley, Darch, Wangara. Of course, not too many people live in Wangara. Pearsall and Hocking. Pearsall and Hocking used to be in Wanneroo. They've now hived off and become Landsdale. And Marangaroo and Girraween have hived off and joined Mirrabooka. So it's a brand new seat, never been contested before, and it's a great opportunity for our party to maybe steal one seat back.
And you're running in the lower house, just to clarify that, yeah?
Yeah, running in the lower house.
Beautiful.
So I was pre-selected this time last year, it was about March 20 last year, so I've known for 12 months, and I've essentially been campaigning for 12 months. So this is like I come from a football background, if you like. This is like the grand final week. There's not too much more you can actually do. If you haven't done the work previously, it's not going to pay off. So it's been a great campaign, and let's see how we go Saturday.
Are you excited for what the future holds on Saturday? I mean, we've got your flyers up here on the mics to promote you on the Facebook Live. You do look like a family man, and you're talking about community in here, which is great.
Yeah, I'm this is very moderate from last time I was in here. I quite enjoy having you on the show.
I'm very gentle.
Thrilled by the co-chair we had last time. So shout out to Mr. Aaron Malloy. So it was a very interesting show, that one.
It was good fun, but I'm enjoying the softer, dulcet tones of the.
So I think he's saying actually vote for Health Australia Party. Is that what you're saying? We're not running in the lower house, by the way, so we're not competing with you.
No, okay, so I'm running in the lower house, and yes, I'm really excited about what it may bring. I mean, for me, I'm not a rusted-on politician. I've been around politicians for a number of years, and what I'd noticed as my time advocating in sport at the West Perth Football Club, you can actually make change in the community if you're passionate enough about it. And I thought I had a profile of some sort. Maybe not everyone recognised it, but certainly my business was based in Wangara at the time. West Perth Football Club was quite large. I have kids who play sport through netball, cricket around the Kingsway regional sporting complex. So I thought this is my opportunity to have a real crack at it.
I got a really good question for you. And I reckon Travis will agree with this one. Australians are very big in terms of our culture for sporting. We love our sports and we hold our sports leaders, coaches to a very high pedigree. You know, if they do something wrong, we're like, get them out of there. How do you think that goes when it comes to politics?
Well, you're right. You see that even with rock stars. We saw Peter Garrett, really make a... I mean, I love Midnight Oil, but joined the Labor Party and really made a bit of a hash of it, I suppose.
Well, he got thrown under the bus and that one hardcore. So, especially the pink bats and all that sort of stuff.
Same with sportsmen. I mean, things like sport and I suppose music and entertainment gives you some credibility in the marketplace, and it gives you an identity. And I think if you're trying to get into politics, and that's all I am, I'm a want-to-be politician at this point, it certainly helps to have some sort of profile, so at least people know who you are. So as I've been on the campaign trail, and I've done a lot of door knocking, I'm sort of I'm surprised at three things. One, how many people are actually home over the last 12 months, and that's probably a direct reflection of COVID. Two, how many people answer the door, but I've also worked out everyone thinks you're Australia Post, so there's so many deliveries coming to the door. And three, people, when you say your name, Raponi, whether they're East Perth supporters, West Perth supporters, Swan District supporters, they know the name and they're happy to have a chat about football. So it's being in sport and having some sort of profile certainly gives you an entree into the
So
market.
I do have to ask, because the last time you came in here, you were nowhere near as tanned you are now. So today's was a perler of a day. What's the biggest issue where you've been getting out, talking to people? What's the number one thing that people that actually answer the door talk about? What's the standout issue that you've noticed so far?
Crime and hooning. Crime, particularly with the elderly, and the elderly are always home, and they're worried. They're worried about burglary.
Of course.
And the second one is, and it's pretty close. It's pretty close to the top. Is hooning, just idiots in cars screaming up and down streets, and people don't feel safe. And I think it makes the community in general feel uncomfortable. So, we need to put a policy in place that can address that. And we've done that. We've put a policy forward. Obviously, the election's going to be pretty tough for the Liberal Party, but at this stage, I just worry about Brett Raponi for Landsdale. And if I can win, as I tell my constituents, if I can win my seat at Parliament, I'm there to advocate for them, to make sure CCTV comes up, we get the additional police, we have the hoon squads in the respective areas.
We definitely need fresh blood in politics. I don't think that, having career politicians is the answer to the changes that we need as a community.
As you and I think very similar.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you're coming to my team or I'm coming to your team.
You're definitely looking healthier. As Travis said, you've got the tan. You're looking healthier every moment.
What I have noticed over the last 12 months, and Elaine to include you, is the party, probably both sides of politics and the major parties, does need an injection of fresh blood, and it needs enthusiasm.
Definitely.
And it needs energy. Yeah. And I'd like to think that that's what I can bring. My opponent, the person who holds the seat for the seat of Girraween at the moment, is a career politician. She's been in that position for 20 years. I haven't seen her out on the street at all. Now, that's not a criticism necessary.
Oh, it's an observation, and my observation is you're a good man. I think you probably deserve more votes than a career politician.
Yeah, I'm not. I appreciate the kind words. This is very different to last time. Whether you deserve it or not, I'm not sure. But I have the energy and the enthusiasm, and I think I can bring that to the constituency. And I think I can add to the Liberal Party and, in general, make it a better community.
And we need good leadership, honest people. I mean, what I'm sensing from you, I can sense a lot just from sitting next to someone. Kind of the same thing as you can read a tarot card. And I'm reading...
I'll leave that in your realm.
I'm reading Brett's energy, and I can tell you, what I'm sensing is a decent family man who genuinely cares about the community, and that's why he's doing what he's doing.
My concern is he played for the wrong football team. He should have played for South Fremantle.
I won't hold that against him at all.
South Fremantle are the reigning premiers at this point, but that's for Max's show on a Saturday.
Sure.
Yeah, look, I'm very tan because I've been out door knocking and sign waving, and we're on pre-poll at the moment. So in my particular seat, Landsdale, we don't have a pre-poll booth. So if anyone in Landsdale, Alexander Heights, Madeley, Darch, Pearsall, Hocking wish to cast an early vote, they've got to go up to Wanneroo. There's an electoral office next door to Hungry Jack's, or they've got to go to Warwick in Dugdale Road, which is very close to the Warwick Cinema. Or they go down to Edgewater on Joondalup Drive. So it's not really convenient, if you like. So our early pre-polling for that seat, Liberal, Labor and all the other candidates, has been pretty light. And I expect on Saturday we're going to get a lot more sun. I'm going to get a lot more darker because we'll be still canvassing pretty hard on election day.
So I do have a question. So let's say you do win, and according to that site that deals with the horses, $9 to 1. That's roughly.
Oh wow, that's the odds. That's
sports bet.
That's not good odds.
I can't confirm yes or no because it's community radio. We cannot promote gambling. I'm looking at it here. $9.50.
I've come in. I was $10 when it started.
Okay. Yeah. So well done on narrowing the gap. But let's say you do win, and I genuinely hope you do because we have had you on the show. Aaron ripped into you, and you held up really well. And one of our big criticisms of the Liberal Party this year has been that they've been a bit lacklustre. If you win, will you be able to hold the Labor Party to account? Are you going to start calling them onto things where they're taking advantage of the Australian people?
Because let me just say, your leader hasn't. If you haven't noticed.
Came from Bass, not me. So.
Well, first and foremost, absolutely. I mean, advocating. Some people from my football background might call it arguing, but I like to call it advocating, is one of my strong points. And it's very important at this election, and I might say, Bass, you just sort of touched or alluded to it, I might say, is that we do have still a strong opposition in place.
Yeah.
And the Liberal Party do need to retain seats and probably add a couple to it and set up for the next election. But right now we're right here. And we need to do that because we need checks and balances in place, as we need in the upper house. And I know that's where you...
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do as a smaller party.
It keeps it democratic. If we let the Labor Party run both houses, there are no checks and balances.
We're in trouble.
So
we've already seen things being passed through the middle of the night, as it is.
Absolutely.
So imagine what that could be if it's one way.
They tried to introduce a gold tax twice. Right. Even at the agriculture school, which is out your way in Mora, they wanted to close that. They backflipped on that because of public pressure. Now, if they're running both houses, they just do those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But going back to me, can I do it? Absolutely, I can do it. And I look forward to the opportunity of sitting in the lower house with others and working hard to keep the government to account and providing a better society for our kids and our family and our friends to live in.
Yeah. Wow. You kind of dodged earlier, like a very good politician would, my question about leadership in politics and leadership in sport, but I probably didn't ask the question all that great either. Do you think there's any leaders in politics today that you would trust to run your favourite sports team?
Well, I do like Zach. I've only known Zach since November 27th. But
what if he tells them we're going to lose before the grand final? That's not the right attitude.
That's not what we do in football.
No.
It's funny. Look, there's a lot... The strategy behind that, I know you get it because I heard you talking on the radio, but maybe you don't want to say it. There was a strategy behind saying that.
Right.
And that is to, I suppose, shake the general public up to understand, hey, we can't give Labor full control.
Right.
But you may also, and this annoys me a little bit because people are very cynical of politics, and you're entering into politics, and they think we're all liars.
Right.
We're all full of BS. Now, you've had the leader come out and say what 99.9% of the population thought.
Okay.
The Liberal Party
so
cannot
he was
win
coming
the
out
election.
with transparency and honesty to sort of, to rally the troops to go, hey guys,
Well, I think what he was saying is he won't be premier.
Right.
But no, the wider media don't want to say about that. I'm not going to be the premier. But that doesn't mean we can't win the seat of Landsdale, we can't win the seat of Kalamunda, we can't retain the seat of South Perth.
So if I'm reading in between the lines here, the media's taken it, run with it, and had a field day, making it look like he's admitted defeat across the board, when all he was really saying is, we know I'm not going to be premier.
Yes.
Which is fair.
Yes.
I think that's a fair call. I would probably have said the same thing.
And I mean, it has polarised people because on the door knock, I have had to confront Liberal people who were very unhappy with that call that your leader says we're going to lose. And as I've said I remember it just last week, I was out in Hocking and I spent 20 minutes trying to convince a husband and wife to come back. And at the end, I gave up what I thought was a pretty good argument. And he said, you know what, you've knocked on my door and I like that. I'm going to vote for you.
Well, that's a win.
That's perfect.
Those things always give you so much energy on the day after all that sun and on being on your feet.
Absolutely. Look, it was a good outcome, but it's very difficult to convert people back. So what the party chose to do, it hasn't suited everybody, but it hasn't affected me at all out there in Landsdale.
I think it's probably a fair strategy in terms of strategies go, in terms of honesty policy, but it has backfired not because of the strategy, but because of the media having basically a field day with it, which is what they've been doing.
I do want to quickly jump in here because we do have the text line. So 0418 897 897. We do actually have a couple of messages that come through. So the first one, brace yourself.
Aaron's listening.
It's not Aaron.
I know Aaron's number. It's not Aaron. So we now have an Attorney General, the Minister of Health, the Minister for Defence, and the member for Banks all on sick leave while the PM is off doing photo shoots. I wonder if they've all had the vaccine. Oh, and then smiley face and laughing giggles. So,
well,
that sounds like
a hairy one.
So this is how you answer this as a politician.
Yep.
I didn't hear a question. That was a statement. First of all,
he's had some really good training.
And secondly, that's federal politics.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to get into state politics at the moment.
There's a second question to it.
Okay,
so,
there is a question.
Costing. Actually, I think it is a statement. Costing the taxpayers around $28,000 per week while they hide from accountability, media and responsibility. So my question is, with people in the government doing stuff like this, what's one of the strongest points that you think the new candidates who are coming through to hope win seats? Do you think accountability, the key word here is accountability. Do you think accountability is one of the most important things for politicians these days?
Oh, absolutely. First and foremost, that is it. I mean, there's a couple of things here. The state debt, when Colin Barnett lost office, was $32 billion. And the state debt now, under the Labor government, state Labor, is $40 billion.
Jeez.
And that's on the back of increased royalties, which iron ore prices have gone through the roof. GST, which has seen a significant improvement to Western Australia because of the federal Liberals and also because of the fine work of Colin Barnett earlier in his time. So I'm not sure that Labor have made a great fist of the economy, but certainly COVID they've done a pretty good job with. But all they've done is follow the Chief Health Medic's advice, and your party, if you were in charge, would have done exactly the same thing.
Well, yeah, I guess, I mean, we'll have to find out once I'm in there what we would do. We've just got to get elected first. But look, I think it's interesting because as you're talking about that budget, Mark's marketing team must be all over that because they had a post today on his Facebook that said, we are holding up the strongest and the best during these times economically.
So you did touch on something very interesting then about following the Chief Health Officer's advice. Now the question is, who elected the Chief Health Officer?
He's not an elected official.
No, he would be a public servant working for the government. And if the government changes hands on March 13th, the Chief Health Medical Officer will continue to work for the government in hand at that point.
Okay, so who hires him? Do you know?
I know who would fire him. That would be me if I got into power. Well, I would definitely fire him.
I would say it would come under the Health Minister's portfolio.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's where that would end out. I'm not sure the line of questioning is. I think the Chief Health Medical Officer's done a pretty good job. Done a very good job.
Well, he's done a few backflips. He's done a Fauci a few times where he said no healthy person should wear masks and then mandated masks not long after.
I tell you what I find interesting, just today, to put a football spin on it,
Yep.
So the Chief Health Medical Officer has come out and suggested that you should wear masks to AFL football in 2 weeks. 2 weeks
Oh, please.
starts at the stadium.
Right.
And on public transport you should wear masks. But the Premier has come out today, you can tell it's an election, and said it's not necessary to do it. If you choose to do it, you can do it. Yet 2 weeks ago, the Premier was taking every bit of advice from the Chief Health Medical Officer, which goes back to your point.
Yeah.
4 weeks ago when we had that lockdown,
it was mandatory up until the 14th of February, and then suddenly nobody had to wear it anymore. It was a magic trick.
And Elaine, you're in small business. I'll put this to you. I've got a friend who runs a trucking business, and he lost $60,000 in that 1 week. Yeah. He rang me after that week. So he delivers to electronic goods to various electrical wholesalers around, well-known wholesalers around town. He rang me after that week, and he said, "You put me on a polling booth." He goes, which I never asked him. I've got 9 polling booths to full. Yeah. He goes, "I want to make sure that Mark McGowan is elected out of office and that you get elected in."
Yeah, well, small businesses
sorry
are
to
the
cut you off
most
here,
affected.
Bass. I've got to quickly jump in here. Have you read the Emergency Management Act 2005 for West Australia?
No.
Section 76 or 78, Dwayne, I'll get you to confirm this one. It says something along the line of anyone who suffers loss or damages due to the state of emergency is entitled to seek compensation for fair and reasonable loss.
Interesting.
Right.
Have you heard of that act yet?
I haven't heard of that act.
Yeah, I'll send it to you because it's massive.
Your friend will be relieved to hear about it.
Yeah. Before I actually started this show, I actually sent a message through to Fran Logan's office, who's the state emergency minister for it. And his office called me up and said they didn't even know it was in there.
Yeah.
So I think that might be a very good one for your friend to look up. If you do want more information on it, hit us up on the Facebook, Travis Carter.
That particular person isn't going under, but it's significant, and it has significant
$60,000 in a week. That's a lot.
Small business couldn't have. That lockdown was, it just seemed coincidental. It was 4 weeks out from the election, which prevented all candidates from doing any campaigning. You had to put the spotlight and the cameras clearly on the Premier every single day.
It also had a couple of other coincidences, like early voting postal applications turning up on the first day of that lockdown to people's homes by the Labor Party.
Yes.
Another one which slipped in the media by, I don't know, maybe it was an accident, where 2 grand projects were approved, one for Kerry Stokes and one for FMG.
You've done your homework. Beach Energy. I think, look, from my point of view, I don't like the early polling because it gives me more time to campaign. And we saw if the government slipped up, Roger Cook's office is in a little bit of a strife with staff who are laying complaints for unfair dismissal on the weekend.
Right.
If you've already lodged your vote in Kwinana, I think Roger Cook's is in the seat of Kwinana. If you already lodged your vote, you can't change your mind. And this story just broke on Saturday. So early polling, of which the Labor government is pushing very hard to get out there because they're riding a wave of popularity.
I think over 50% of people have already gone, which is unprecedented.
Yeah.
I heard 60% of people were going to pre-poll. That's not only in WA, but they're also predicting the same for once the federal election finally comes around.
Well, with all these lockdowns and everything, people just want to get it out of the way and do it while there was no rush.
Now, a bit of good news for you. It looks like you've got a bit of a fan on the text line here. I have a feeling you know. I actually think quite highly of Mr. Raponi. I think true journalism asks a tough question and does not feed fairy floss and hand out balloons. So apparently we don't hand out balloons, which I can't see any in here.
Where's the fairy floss?
Oh, I wish I had some fairy floss. But yeah, it's looks like you've got a supporter there.
Well, and that's nice to know. Look, as a candidate, you want to win over constituents and you want them to vote you need to work the community over. And I think that myself and my team have actually done that. It's just not me alone. I'm the face, but I've got 100-odd volunteers who sit behind me and a campaign manager who drives me relentlessly. But we've been out there in the community and we're genuine I'm very genuine about what we want to do.
Can I ask you a hard one?
We've got to be careful of the time. He's already 5 minutes over what he's got to do. So final question. Do you think the Labor government even cares about small businesses?
I don't think they care as much as a Liberal Party do. Our policies would suggest that we care about business. That's our DNA, small business. We want small business to have every opportunity to succeed and be profitable and grow and be more profitable. And if they're more profitable, then they're going to employ more people.
That makes sense.
And
can I squeeze this
good
in?
Answer.
Have we got time?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about accountability, where you're going to not toe the line of the party narrative. Like we've seen that with another Liberal,
Craig Kelly.
Absolute. Yeah. I think he's a good man, and he's doing what he thinks is right. Whether people agree or disagree, that's everybody's entitled to an opinion. But how do you feel about doing what you think is right versus towing the line for a narrative that the party pushes?
That's a really good question. It's something I haven't thought about until you put it to me there, but I have to respect that I'm part of a team of the Liberal Party, but I also have to represent my constituents. It's interesting. I'm unsure what I'd really do in that situation.
It is a tough one.
Yeah, you've got to represent your constituents, but you also need to take to support your party. It's a bit like a football analogy again. You've just got to play your role within the team. I can't answer it, honestly. I'm not sure what I'd actually do.
I had to throw a spanner in the works. It was all going smoothly.
I like those questions. It's good practice. If I'm fortunate enough to be in Parliament, I'm sure I'm going to get those sort of questions.
So what I would love to do, because I do need to let you go, you are 6 minutes over, like you're supposed to. After the election, I'd love to get you back in for a full wrap-up. So can I book you in now?
Yeah, you can do that.
Sweet.
Look, it was terrific to be here, and thank you for the support. I love 89.7 FM. I've been in here, and I do look at it on Facebook, and I do like the sport on a Saturday.
Well, we wish you all the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
All the best.
And again, I know Kirkup doesn't like me, but we want him in this station.
Well,
I've spoken to Kirkup. I know he doesn't like me. But anyway, so again, good luck with the election. I genuinely hope you win, because we definitely need the balance and the accountability. So I'll let you go. When I head to a quick message, so this is Carter's Corner, 89.7 FM. You can watch us live on the Facebook stream. So wave to everyone. Make sure you get out there. Vote for Brett, number 1, Landsdale. And we will be back after the next track, which is another local Australian artist. So we'll be back shortly.
It's a goal! When the unexpected leaves you shattered, reach out to Master Glazier Campbell at Woodvale Glass, your station sponsor. Campbell has plenty of points on the board, being in the business for over 45 years, so don't wait. Phone 0432 543 316 for all your glass, mirror, security screen, wardrobe and shower screen needs, or check out woodvaleglass.com.au.
Thanks, Australia, for doing your bit to help stop the spread of coronavirus, for downloading the COVID Safe app, for keeping your distance and staying at home, for the sacrifices you've made, and for stepping up in these tough times. The changes aren't easy, but they are working. So keep going. And don't forget, if you haven't already, download the COVID Safe app today. Visit australia.gov.au to learn more. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
The 89.7 Community File.
Do you have 1 free hour per week and a passion for helping young people? EdConnect Australia's volunteers provide friendship and guidance to students who need a little support to reach their full potential. You can help as a mentor working one-to-one with a student, or as a learning support volunteer to assist in classrooms, breakfast clubs, or a variety of other roles. For further information, please call 9444 8646 or go to www.edconnect.org.au.
Promote your non-profit organisation or community group, and it's free. Head to our website at 897fm.com.au.
Join me, Brett Costello, each and every week for the Urban Meltdown, giving you upfront and independent R&B, soul and urban tunes.
You're ahead of the game.
The Urban Meltdown, upfront and independent soul, R&B and urban. Soul. Check the station guide so you don't miss a minute.
It's so good. The following program may contain coarse language. Listener discretion is advised.
You're the reason I want to stay. I'd give everything away for you. Tell me what you want to say. Everything will be okay. It's all true. 'Cause I won't say goodbye. 'Cause I'm not yours. I will hold you forever in my arms. 'Cause I won't let you down, no, not today. With every touch I'll give you all my love. Give all my
not far away. 3 more months, 4 more days, I'm home. So, 'cause I won't say goodbye, 'cause I'm not gone. And I will hold you forever in my arms. 'Cause I won't let you down, no, not today.
And we're back on Carter's Corner. We've got Travis Carter here. We've got Elaine from local business owner in Joondalup. I'm not Skip Bass. And we've got...
we can't do that.
Yes, we
Bass
can.
Tadros from Health Australia Party here.
Oh. And we've got the guests of honour on the green mic. Oh, that's actually really appropriate. So we've got Leanne from the Greens. Now, from memory, I think it was Kalamunda.
Yes.
Yes, the lower house seat candidate for Kalamunda. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Oh, it's taken us a long time to get a green to come in. So... From the show's perspective, thank you very, very much for coming on. It's absolutely awesome. So thank you for that one. So what we'll do, we've got a bit of a game to play later on. It's called Word Association. So for those who can see on the camera, we do have a bit of a list here that we're going to have a chat about. But before we get to that, how's your campaigning going?
It's going quite well. I'm on the polling booth every single day, 10 hours a day. That those booths are open. I have the sorest feet that I've ever had in my life. People are mostly friendly. There's an occasional hiccup. Other candidates are wonderful. It's actually really, polling booths are great fun. It's where democracy actually happens. It's where you get to say, hey, will you vote for me? And people can say, yes, no, or in no way in hell.
I'm sure there's some more colourful language in there as well.
Well, the people in Kalamunda are really relaxed, very laid back. Beautiful part of Perth, Kalamunda, in the hills. So are you actually getting people to stop and talk to you? Because usually in those early polling booths, they just want to get on, and get it done.
There's also a coffee shop right next door. Okay. So anyone who knows me or has done any research on me knows that I basically run on coffee. So I've been basically living next door to the coffee, making sure that people are actually voting and not just going for coffee. So it's kind of a game.
Are you shouting them coffee? Is this how you're going to get votes?
No, I would not do that. The only people I ever buy coffee for are either people who buy me coffee or my volunteers who work very, very hard.
Yeah.
So
I did read a report. There was I think it might have been over East, I can't remember. The candidate was giving lollipops to any kids that came down with their parents, and she got told off for bribing voters and got into a lot of trouble.
So kids, they can't even vote. They're under 18.
I know, but it's a gift for the parents through the kids. So the Electoral Commission took a very, very nasty look on that. So no, it's some of the stance are very, very strange. So what I'm going to do, so on the list of words, we're playing a game of word association. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask the word, and then we'll go down the line. So we'll start with Leanne, then we're going to go to Bass, and then we're going to head over to Elaine. And it's going to be quite interesting because we've got quite a few different politically aligned people in the office today. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to stay out of it because I'm the host and I don't have to. All right, the first one that's going to come up is coal power.
Outdated.
I've got old news.
I've got clean and workable.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Clean.
very.
Clean, okay.
It's very dirty.
It's black and stinky and dirty, but yeah. I had to keep it clean.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so as you can see,
It rhymes with green.
True.
Yes, it does.
We do have quite a range of questions coming here. So why outdated? Is it just that there has been any technological investment into coal, or is it just there's better options?
There are better options. So there's renewables, absolutely renewable. And it's time for a just transition out of coal. So in other words, no one gets left behind. Every worker is trained into something else and moved forward out of coal into renewables.
It's actually really interesting you said it that way, because obviously everyone's heard about the Liberal Party's decision to shut down coal, close all the coal mines and do a whole heap of renewables. I think it was in 4 years.
Yep.
Would the Greens support that, considering how fast it is and there's going to be people left behind untrained and Collie as a town site will get absolutely slammed?
We would only ever support a just transition. It must be just. The basic issue with coal is that it is causing enormous damage to the environment, but not just the environment, the overall living of people and critters and everything else. So as we move to renewables, we need to remember that there's people whose jobs are reliant on coal who can't just jump ship and suddenly become instant renewable workers. They actually need to be fully trained and transition in a just way. So a just transition is basically saying, no matter what you do now, we will train you, we will ensure that your wages are workable for you, that you can more than survive, that you're not going to be left behind. You're not going to fall through the cracks, and that's really important.
Another quick question on that one. So you're saying like retrain, make sure they've got a job. Collie's a very, very small town site. Would you also expect them to move out of the area to find work, or would it be still based where they're homed? Because a lot of people have like their family homes there, their family members that aren't there. So would it be looking for more jobs in the same region?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our policy is quite strong on that. It's it's just transition. No one gets left behind. Everyone gets trained, and as far as humanly possible, they maintain their current lifestyle and their current location.
Okay. Second word on the list, we've got solar energy. Total broad spectrum. So we had coal. We're now going to solar energy.
There's no greater power of energy really around Earth.
Cool.
Sorry.
Bass?
Cheaper batteries is what I've got, because I've got solar panels on my house.
I'd like to jump to that one in a minute, but we'll go to Elaine first.
Sorry, I've got overrated. Because I don't think it's been researched properly.
I have a sneaky feeling yours and Bass's answers are going to coincide quite a bit. So, first of all, Leanne said it was cleaner. So we'll go through your answers again so I'd make sure I don't miss them. So solar energy.
She's saying it's the energy of the universe, I think.
And
it's
the sun.
cheapest
Yes,
energy.
absolutely.
So the cheapest. So obviously to generate the solar energy is cheaper because you don't pay for the sun.
That's right.
Do you think the government's going to start taxing people for solar energy created?
Now, that's needing me to actually jump into another aspect of myself and go guessing. No,
Okay.
I'm not going to do that. What I will say is that it's the clean energy that we need right now. Is it the best right now that it could be? No.
Okay. Now, the one I want to jump onto, Bass said...
cheaper batteries.
Cheaper batteries, and Elaine said...
What did I say? I've forgotten.
You said it's not the most, it's not
overrated or something.
Overrated.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Bass has said cheaper batteries.
Thank you,
Yes.
Bass.
So my understanding is that the energy itself is easy to get, solar
100%.
panels.
And even the panels were cheap enough
Storing
to
it.
install.
Yeah, the storing of the power generated from power is where the issue is.
Yes, because otherwise it goes into the grid and then you pay 3 or 4 times that amount at night if you don't have a battery to buy it back from the grid. And I think that's a little unfair. Maybe there should be incentivization for owners of homes that have put panels that are pushing all this energy into the grid. I've got a very young family. We don't use a lot of energy, but we're happy to give it back into the grid. And the discount that we get back on our power bill is very minimal.
Okay. And Elaine?
I'd just like to say that if it was going to work properly, it's not at the moment, because when I first put solar panels on my property, I was getting 49 cents per kilo.
Right.
Kilowatt back. Yeah. I'm now getting something like 17 cents on a property that I've put it in recently, and I'm like, it's not sustainable. Yeah. It's not fair. Why do it? Why pay that money out to get it?
The one question I do have is, especially for around small businesses that do decide to go solar, putting solar panels on the roof and doing everything else like that, is there much of a push that the government currently has to help the small businesses to become greener? What sort of assistance have they got? And what, especially with the businesses who are massive power consumption businesses who do that, especially in the after hours where there is no sun, because obviously when the sun's down, solar panels don't work. What can we do to make sure that they've got access to power at that point? Is there a place for coal between now to the time that we can go total renewable?
Okay. That's a really tough question because I don't actually know. I'm a small business owner myself. We didn't put solar panels on for that. We're a home business. So basically, from what I've seen, some of the big service stations and that sort of thing have got solar panels up now. There's quite a lot of solar going up. So they've either got good battery systems or there's something being incentivised there that I don't know about. I'm not fully across it. I'll be 100% honest about that.
Okay, let's jump to the next word. We've got capitalism.
Oh, that one.
First
I'm going to say trending.
Okay.
I'm going to say no more isms.
Elaine?
Okay, I'm going to say better off for the people. Sorry, that's more than one word.
Okay, that's fine. Just quickly, we've had a message come through. Someone's asked about nuclear. I think because we do have to go to a message, so...
And we've got that as one of the words on here, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
Energy.
We are going to get there. We're nearly there now.
Yeah, it's one away.
Okay, so we will, for the person that sent through, we will be getting nuclear energy in a minute, so just chill for a little bit. Okay, so we went back to capitalism. Fan of capitalism or against capitalism?
Oh, heck, I'm a child of the capitalist era, really, aren't I? Am I a fan of it? I'm not a fan of gross capitalism. That's the best way that I can put it. I can't put it any other way.
Okay, so you want to see proper checks and balance and make sure, like you said before,
absolutely,
no one falls through the cracks?
No one falls through the cracks, and I'd love to see a universal basic income come in where people are actually supported at a level that isn't, poverty line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just not the Great Reset one.
So I've had this, we've had another guest on the show, his name was Jason. He's a very big supporter of the universal basic income. Yeah. I'm not that familiar with it, so correct me if I'm wrong on this one. So the way I understand it is everyone gets the basic minimum income.
It's more like communism rather than capitalism.
Is that a question?
Just to help you.
So everyone gets a base wage, whether you work or not. You've got enough money to eat, sleep, a bit of entertainment and survive to have a normal lifestyle. But if you want to, exceed and you want to have the fancy cars, the fancy house and all that sort of stuff, you have to work extra for it. Is that roughly where we're at?
That's roughly what it's about.
What's to stop everyone from going, you know what, I can chill out home with my kids, do nothing, and I'm going to make sure everything's supplied. Why work? So what's going to stop everyone from just going, nah, tools down, I'm not working, stuff, I'm going to get paid anyway?
That's one that gets thrown at people who are on unemployment benefits all the time, So you've got this great extra bit of money, so we're going to do this, that and the other, and, oh, look, they don't want to work. The reality is that the universal basic income just basically provides people with a way of being able to respect themselves, to lift themselves up from, poverty. And to be fair, unemployment benefit is poverty. That's it. There's nothing to stop that but the drive that is innate in most human beings to make better of their lives. And it is being used in one of the overseas countries. I can't tell you which one it is, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the Nordic countries.
We'll have it looked
producer, can you have a look for us and send it through to the studio? Awesome, thank you. We've got the thumbs up. The country that has a universal base income. So we got it. So the producer here also acts as a fact checker. So if we need to check things, he can pull it up for us, and he's got internet and whatnot, and it helps out.
And he's very intelligent.
He's amazing.
He'll get a big head. Okay.
He's also nice.
That's why he's not in the studio.
Yeah, the smart man. So what we're going to do, we are 22 minutes past 7. We do need to go to a quick message from our sponsors. Sure. So what I'm going to do after that, we are going to come back to the word socialism, but we'll be back on for that one after this. So Travis Carter, Carter's Corner. 89.7. We have Leanne from the Green, so thank you for coming in, Bass and Elaine, and we'll be right back after this.
Opinions expressed on Carter's Corner are entirely independent of the opinions of Radio 89.7 FM's Wise Board, talented management and wonderful sponsors. Carter's Corner respects the right of each individual to hold and express an opinion unfettered by the shackles of political correctness and without fear of quivering in the quicksand of cancel culture. Radio is for entertainment, not censorship.
Have you ever wanted to look at the stars up close? Well, now you can. Station sponsor the Gravity Discovery Centre will open a whole new world of amazement for you. Located north of Perth, just off Indian Ocean Drive, the Gravity Discovery Centre has something for everyone, with a great range of attractions. Climb the Leaning Tower, explore the Cosmology Gallery, get up close in the Biodiversity Gallery, and take in the marvels of the Milky Way at the Observatory. For more information, bookings and tickets, go to gravitycentre.com.au.
Are you or someone you know currently struggling with life, or maybe showing signs of depression, anxiety or stress? Whatever the problem, the dedicated team at station sponsor Delta Psychology are here for you and may be able to help. Their highly qualified team have many years of experience in psychology and mental health and focus on providing the best high-quality care available. For more information, go to deltapsychology.com.
You're listening to People Powered Radio, proudly supported by the Community Broadcasting Foundation. The Community Broadcasting Foundation resources community-owned and operated media stations just like this one that connect people and tell vital, local stories so that we all enjoy a more vibrant, inclusive Australian culture and healthy democracy. Find out more about our work at cbf.com.au.
Now, Carter's Corner, Travis Carter on the red mic. We've got Bass, I'll let you go first this time, on the blue mic. Elaine, local business owner, on the yellow microphone. And our guest of honour, Leanne from the Greens, on the green mic. Say hi to everyone.
Hi.
From Green Kalamunda.
Yes,
It's very green.
It is actually up in the hills.
Yeah.
So we've been doing a bit of word association. The next one is a doozy. So let's start with socialism. Leanne, first word that comes to your mind.
Gone.
Gone, okay.
I'd stick with no more isms once more.
Again, no more isms?
Oh, stop it. That's cheating.
It's just easy.
Elaine?
I think just taxes, sorry.
Taxes.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just taxes from everywhere.
So I want to jump back over to Leanne. Gone. What do you mean by gone?
Look, true socialism in terms of what socialism actually should be, which is to support and, there is no ruling elite, etc., etc. If you actually want to look at a true socialism type based society, I know it's socialist, but I'm not going to call it socialist, then you need to look at some of the traditional cultures around the world, and there you'll find your true socialism. Everyone pitches in to do something, the thing that they're good at, and that's what's important.
Okay, so...
And that's not what became socialist, party Russia, etc., etc. Okay. That isn't what it became. Communism.
In your opinion, has any country ever done socialism properly?
I'd say that the many nations within this country have done socialism properly. On that, I should have actually said, I actually acknowledge the traditional owners of this land.
Okay. So it's more of a, how do I word this? Sort of like a community group level side of things. So the socialism is actually for the community groups, not the governing elite of the whole entire country.
As soon as you get governing elite, there's that word right there that tells you something, okay? So it's governing elite.
Socialism anymore.
It's not socialism. It's become something else where you've got an overarching framework which is actually no longer about everybody being truly equal.
So that's really interesting, because the big spill, especially what you hear in the mainstream media and everything like that, you hear it on Facebook all the time. The Greens, they just want socialism, and they're pro-socialist, and they're commies and all that sort of stuff. And from what your answer here is totally different. It's like you don't want socialism as a governing form of governance. What you want is to promote socialism within the community group so everyone can help themselves. Would that be a fair assessment?
It'd be a fair assessment, perhaps, of how I see it.
Yeah.
To call the Greens socialist is really strange. It's kind of, we're far more evolved than that. We genuinely care about people. We genuinely care about everyone being lifted up, And communism, which is what they're basically accusing us of, is one of those things where there's a ruling overarching structure, and then there's people at the bottom. It's basically capitalism, but it's done in this way where it looks like, so it's basically the machinery of the under people supporting the over people. That's not what we're about.
Okay, fair call, because I must admit, I'm a bit of a sucker for the news, and I've always had the belief that the Greens are kind of like using the environment as an excuse to bring in socialism. And now that you've explained that way, it makes a lot of sense. So that's awesome. I actually really like that.
Well, that might be just Leanne's values, not the
Leanne's
party's values.
a great person. So
she does come across like a good person.
Oh, suckle. We're both sucking
Well,
up
look,
today.
everybody that sits next to me is actually, it's rubbing off, the whole niceness thing.
Yeah.
What, you're just the person sitting across from you don't like?
Only the person on the red mic.
Yeah. Hey, it's the capitalist mic.
Nice.
It's
the
communist
communist
mic.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so, no. Okay, and Elaine, so socialist, good, bad, does the way that Leanne's explained it make a lot more sense?
Yeah, it does. Actually. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you, Leanne.
Now, for the person that did send a text message through for us, we're going to hit their one. Nuclear energy.
Okay.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
I'll give you it really simply and easily.
Yeah.
I've been to Nagasaki.
Nagasaki, that was Japan, where the tsunami wiped out the nuclear
No,
power plant?
I haven't been to Fukushima. I have been to Nagasaki.
Yep.
I've been to ground zero. Let's just put it this way. No way.
So, sorry, I was thinking wrong event. That was the second nuclear warhead that was dropped by the Americans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because my answer is no thanks.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm very different because I think it's a little unknown and we need to research it further, but it could be a good option if used wisely.
There's a lot of articles out there about how environmentally friendly nuclear power is, how safe it is. I think we'll probably get a few text messages. I'm just waiting for the person that messaged about nuclear energy before to message in. The nuclear bombs were weaponized. They intentionally caused a reaction. So to do that in a nuclear power plant, my understanding is that it's very, very extremely hard to do, and it's especially with the amount of technology that's come through.
We've had a disaster in a power plant, in nuclear power. I think it was in Ukraine, and it was disastrous. Now, we shouldn't be saying that all nuclear energy is bad because of that particular situation, because I think there are nuclear energy power plants that are quite safe. But I still think no thanks.
Okay.
Because there's better ways. That's just my view.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm just waiting to see if that person with the talking about the nuclear energy message is through. So that'll be interesting. Anyway, moving on. Australian farmers.
Absolutely. Farms before coal.
Farms before coal. Nice.
My highest priority.
Highest priority.
Overworked and underpaid.
Yeah. Sounds like our nurses and teachers as well.
Yeah, they're ripped off. Sorry, they're ripped off by the big supermarkets.
I think people forget that they're the future of our food supply, and without them, we don't have a food supply.
True. That's so true.
The other thing a lot of people got to remember is Australia as a whole was built originally on our farmers. So remember, we used to export wool, wheat, and all that other stuff for all the economy.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden we started finding minerals, and so all of a sudden farmers went out the window and it's like, let's pander to the big mining companies.
Well, it's actually still one of the biggest sectors in our economy in WA is agriculture.
And it always seems that none of the political rulers at the moment actually want to deal with the farmers and want to help them out.
Our soil is really degraded.
It is.
Does the Greens have any strategies in place, especially around mental health of the farmers, because the suicide rates on farming properties, and I'm talking about the stations and very, very isolated farms, the level and rates of suicide is through the roof. So does the Greens have any policies or ways to help these guys get the help that they need?
Now, I'm not across agriculture as our policy. I will say that we definitely support sustainable farming and that we support farmers, and our mental health policies are quite high. Personally, I have known people who've had to sell up their property because the bank called in the thing, and that was really traumatic for them. I mean, they recovered and they went on, but it was a big loss for them. So I also know people who do really well at organic farming on a broad scale, so sheep, wheat, etc. And I think that the Greens' policies on farming are really, really worth looking into, because we actually have a very strong support for.
Okay. So for the people listening out there online on the radio, 89.7 FM or 897fm.com.au, if they do want to have a look up the Greens policies, what's the Greens website?
Okay, it's greens.org.au and it's /WA, and then you can basically have a look at our policies and our people.
Fantastic. So also you can find your local candidates down there, so whether it's yourself, Leanne, or there's someone else. So everything's on there, the Greens website. Make sure you go have a look at it.
But make sure you vote for Health Australia Party in the agriculture region. I had to squeeze that in there. Even the Greens would want that, right?
Peter Leam, our candidate for agriculture, is actually a really lovely guy. If I was in agriculture, I'm sorry, as nice as you are, I'd vote for Peter. He's just such a lovely guy.
That's
such
fine.
a lovely
I'll get
guy.
the preferences after Peter drops off anyway.
Bass. So what we need to do is drop the B off his name.
Yes. But then you'd have my full name, right? Bassem.
Wow, shocking. Absolutely shocking. Okay, moving on.
This is that banter that we talked about, that brotherhood banter. Which one of us is the older and the younger brother? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Am I older than you?
83 I'm born.
Oh, I'm older than you by 2 years.
You're a fossil.
Yes.
Oh boy, do I have a story about that.
Next word. Let's clean it up. Okay, it was funny you said that about the food security, because that is actually our next word, food security.
I've got that as essential.
No, you're not first.
Oh,
Ladies
sorry.
First.
Yeah, wait your turn, Bass.
But I'm not a lady. I'm a woman.
Woman? Okay. Sorry, the saying is... I apologise.
What's the distinction?
That's all right.
Just for me, what is the distinction?
A
'Cause
lady,
I often say lady.
if you think lady, then you think someone who's, cultured, well-behaved.
Like a nice
the
lady.
queen.
Yep. Okay.
Let's go there.
Oh, but you're thinking like a title, like my lady.
Yeah, so it's sort of, I don't have...
You
any
prefer woman.
I prefer woman.
Okay.
Well, each to their own.
Leanne, I reckon I prefer that.
I just don't like labels, to be honest with you. But we'll get to that in another segment. So anyway, back to the questions.
Food security. Absolutely.
Leanne, absolutely. Okay.
I've got essential.
Essential.
I've got support the farmers.
Support the farmers. Okay, got a question for you. This is a very political one. And I actually don't know, because this is a very, very black and white answer. Will the Greens assist in blocking the Labor government if they're trying to sell off any Australian-owned farms or assets to foreign entities?
Our policy is, and I'd be really stretching to say I know 100%, but the basis of the policy is that food growing land is Australian-owned, or that Australians, seriously, don't quote me, I'm not that good at policy. But
so you want to keep it in Australian hands?
Yes, where possible, absolutely. If someone out there is actually willing to look at the Greens website and flick in an answer to that one for me, I'd be really grateful.
Hey, Dwayne, can you pull it up for us? So greens.org.au/WA
policies
bit, and jump through. Just have a look for us. Because there's been social media, there's been a lot of posts about it, about land being sold off. A lot more of it is to do with stations and over east. So there was a curry, Darling Basin Range, there was a curry farm that got sold off to the Chinese. There was another one that got sold off, and then they started doing a whole heap of illegal earthworks.
It's almost like there's a split personality between the Greens for the state parliament and the federal parliament. The Greens for
just
federal.
To be clear, that wasn't the Greens.
Wasn't it?
Allowed sold. I'm not sure on the vote, so please don't group the Greens with that one. But it did get through. It did get approved.
The farm sale to China, I think that was the Greens.
Massive. And I think
no, it wouldn't have been.
Who's the artist? She was in Eyes Wide Shut or something. Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Apparently she had a great big massive farm as well, and they went to sell that. I don't know who it got sold to, but it got approved again. So there's supposed to be a lot of checks and balances to check to make sure major assets do not get sold off. So it'd be really interesting to see if the Greens would support in blocking the sale of Australian assets, especially in the farming industry and the food security side of things, to make sure it stays local.
Definitely one of my policies about foreign investors not buying our farming land.
Yes, that might be the one you'd need to look at.
Especially considering we grow some of the best food in the world, hands down. And then once you chuck food in a ship and send it for like 3 months, it's not going to be the same. So grow local, buy local, support local. So that's my motto.
I agree.
Right,
yes.
Moving on to the next question. Everyone has this one. Respect. First word.
Absolutely. Sorry, it's my word of the day.
Necessary always.
Authenticity.
See, I'm going to chime in this one. When I hear the word respect, I think mum.
Yeah.
True.
Respect your mum.
Yeah, like mum, you just always respect mum. Sorry,
Yeah,
I just had to
true.
chime in there. The Dwayne's shaking his head at me, but that's
And
okay.
we had International Women's Day yesterday, so respect for women.
Yeah, well, you just should respect everyone. We're just having
Always.
a look here.
That was my original answer.
So, Dwayne, thank you for getting the information off the Greens website. Protection of prime agricultural land from encroachment by urban, industrial and mining developers, and stronger regulations of foreign purchasing and ownership of agricultural land. The legislation ensures stronger regulations of foreign ownership of agricultural land. So there you go. That is direct off the Greens website. So,
Thank you.
Really good source if you do want to know more about their policies, what they stand for, and again, who their candidates are. So please jump on board and have a look. So respect. Who's the person you respect the most?
Oh, wow. The person I respect the most. First and foremost, okay, so, to me, respect comes from a place of understanding where a person is in terms of their authenticity as a person. So, and that I've got some martial arts training in my background, and so that is, to me, a sensei. I have two senseis in my life. One was my karate sensei, because I respected the fact that he could probably break me in half if he really wanted to. And the other is a man by the name of 2020, who is just look him up. His name's 2020. He teaches some things by a guy by the name of Neville Goddard. And he is my other sensei. And then I respect a whole slew of other people. I respect Josie for the growth and phenomenal abilities that she has. I mean, that's one talented woman that's sitting out there. I respect Jenny for having the courage to come in here. I respect
Bass Tadros for standing up for politics, which is something that you're doing as well.
I respect anyone. I respect anyone who's actually, I'm sorry everyone, but this is going to be the real Leanne here. I respect anyone who's got the balls to actually step into politics and give it a damn good go, because it's really tough out there.
And you're one of those people.
We need a clap button, like, you know, big stations. We've got one that goes... But I
like Seinfeld or something,
exactly.
you know how they do the
a clap button, so you just hit it and applause and stuff like that. So
I have, and I respect, you know, there's a whole range of people that I respect, but that's, of course, I respect my parents. You know, they put up with 7 of us. There's a heck of a lot of, there's a lot of us, and trust me, we were kids.
And kids never get along. My brother broke my eye socket, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So well done to your parents.
God bless them. 7 kids, that's huge. Respect.
And 3 of them were foster children from the Northwest, and 1 adopted boy.
I met one of your sisters. She's just here. Hello.
She is just
we got a wave. Yay! So awesome. So, all right. So I'm going to throw this quickly as well, because we're running out of time. We do need to go quick message. Bass, person you respect the most?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, your call. Elaine?
It would be my mum. Yep. She's still around watching me. So, yep. Hi, Mum.
Awesome.
Much respect.
Okay, so we don't keep going because we are running out of time. We're supposed to do messages every 20 minutes. So we don't go to a quick message. Have I queued up the next song? Yes, I have. So we don't go to a quick message and a song, and we'll be right back after this. This is Carter's Corner with Travis Carter. You can listen live on the Facebook or at 897fm.com.au. We'll be right back after this.
Summer's finally here, and the team at Acclaim Landscapes are ready to create that perfect outdoor living space for you and your family to relax and entertain in. With over 25 years' experience in award-winning garden design, along with innovative paving and reticulation work, station sponsor Acclaim Landscapes will guarantee a fantastic outdoor renovation for your home. For more information, call Peter on 0411 851 841.
Are you busy planning the entertainment for your next function? Maybe it's a wedding, a corporate event, or even a party. Then you need to talk to station sponsor Off the Wall Promotions. Off the Wall can provide DJ and MC services, live music and photo booths. They can even live stream your event to anywhere in the world. Operating from Yanchep to Mandurah, Off the Wall Promotions is your total entertainment specialist. Simply search the socials for Off the Wall Promotions or check out their website.
Need to unwind and take a load off for your drive home? Then join Alan and Rhonda for Thursday Kickback from 3 to 6 p.m. They will have you covered with all of the best music, traffic updates, plus their regular segments such as feature artists and of course their light-hearted humour. You've got to love a joke or two. Enjoy all of the entertainment. It's Thursday Kickback on 89.7 FM and streaming on 897fm.com.au.
I move too slow, but this year I'll take control of it all. I'm out of my mind, out of my head. I just gotta let this fire ride, take me instead. I'm out of my mind, out of my shell. I just gotta let this fire ride, take me I don't know how to act. I'm too unpredictable. But I know for a fact this is no time to worry at all. I'm out of my mind, out of my head. I just gotta let this fire ride, take me instead. I'm out of my mind, out of my shell. I just gotta let this fire ride, take me I'm out of my mind, out of my shell. I just gotta let this wire ride, take me ahead.
And Carter's Corner is back again. So I actually really enjoyed that song. It was called Wild Ride by Bridget Bardini. She's actually based in Melbourne. So the whole entire show today, if you've liked the music, on the description of today's videos on the Facebook side of things, all the music, a bit of a spill about each of the artists is in there. A couple of them have actually been on the show, which is really, really awesome. So the show is trying to get out there, try and support the local artists because, let's be honest, last year was a terrible year. And
Support local. Do you think she was talking about the wild ride of 2020, being a Melbourne girl?
Possibly. Now, my understanding, I'll have to double check that. Just bear with me for a moment. Wild Ride, where are you? Sorry about the clicking. Made a single, my love. No, I have got a bit of a description about that song. So, Wild Ride was actually talking about her journey from originally starting as a musician to actually having her release an actual song.
okay.
So that's what it's about.
Wow.
So the description of the song is actually on the Facebook. So go through the comments. In the bottom half of the comments, there's a description link to YouTube's and SoundCloud, I think it is, for all the songs if you do want to download them. So please support. They're all Australian local artists. So please support them. Throw them a bit of love. Make sure you like and subscribe on their Facebook pages and YouTube pages. It really does help these guys get out there. And while we're talking about liking and subscribing, I do have a YouTube channel and a Facebook page. So Carter's Corner on the Facebook, please give
It's
it a
very
like.
likeable.
It is very likeable. All the videos are up there. We put them up afterwards. So if you do want to have a look later and go, did he really say that? And then you can find it.
Yes, he did.
Last week it was Stonehouse. No, and so there was a few very interesting comments last week. And
Right.
so on the YouTube, it is Travis Carter. All the videos are up there, and also our live stuff, like we're at Hyde Park, and a few others are up there as well. So make sure you jump on. Please give us a subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We'll see how we go. All right, so in the studio, obviously, Travis Carter, red microphone. We got Leanne from the Greens for Kalamunda on the green mic. Bass, who keeps gate crashing. No, Bass is fine. Health Australia Party in the agriculture region on the blue microphone. And Elaine, local business owner from Joondalup, on the yellow mic. So we're running through this list of word association. The next one on the list is renewables.
Let's do it.
What? Let's do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Bass?
Future reality.
I'd like to say let's do it, but how's it going to happen? I just want to know a bit more about it.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, so let's do it. So are you implying that we should just go straight in and start really pushing the renewable energy side of things? And I'm
Yes.
assuming this word is in regards to renewable energy.
Yes, it is absolutely in regard to renewable energy, and yes, we should.
Okay, hang on, just go pull up my comments again. Okay, Bass.
I think innovation. We definitely need to innovate, and we need to take care of the environment. Obviously, the environment is a big aspect of our health, and if we can take care of Earth and take care of our environment, we're taking care of our natural health as well. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Now, Elaine, you were saying you'd like to say let's do it, but you don't think we're there yet. So what aspects of it do you think we're lacking to be able to transition directly to renewable energies?
Okay. I think at the moment, with our climate the way it is, I would like to see things like maybe double glazed windows to keep the heat out, keep the warm air in. I'd like to see rainwater tanks. I'd like to see stuff like that. So to me, that's going to help with renewable.
So sort of like more of a, rather than just going straight into it, it's sort of like a progress. So do the things that are very easy to implement first, like you said, double glazing, rain tanks, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then as the technology catches up,
Yeah,
we'd move
and just keep going. Yeah.
The good news is, from a building perspective, they call that 6-star energy efficiency, and there's a lot of that happening already in construction.
Mhm.
So they won't approve certain projects if they don't have double glazing where they should.
Yeah.
And so on and so on.
Interesting question come back here. Why are we building desalination plants when we can put in rainwater tanks? ... Because there's no tax in rainwater. Oh, that's an interesting comment.
True.
So,
Until the government finds a way to tax it, imagine they start taxing.
Oh, they'll just stop us collecting it.
Yeah.
Can you know how there's the underground cash economy? Can you imagine? Hey, I've got some rainwater.
Yeah.
Will you pay cash?
Let's swap it for some gold.
Oh, I like that one, Elaine. Good comment. So-
Bitcoins.
Oh, your bitcoins. I'll give you some crypto.
Oh, look, the
Crypto!
producer's going crazy.
He's in.
Our producer just loves Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
And it loves
There's
him
one
back.
called- There's one called IOTA, and he intentionally just purchased one IOTA. So he's telling
So he does give an iota.
He can now.
Good one, Dwayne. Giving an iota.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, so why not? You know, we've got to have a humour with this sort of thing. So renewables, you know, they're there, the options are there, but it looks like the government's just not picking the right ones. Okay, so next one we've got on the list. I've been having trouble saying this one, so please...
Do you want me to say
you know
it?
what? Just laugh. Intersectionality.
Exactly.
Well done,
Well done.
Travis.
You did it.
I accidentally put an X in there.
That's all right.
We thought you would eventually.
Now, I'm going to go to our panellists first. Intersectionality.
Layers.
Layers.
I'm just going to say get over it.
I'm just going to say, yeah, it's really weird. Sorry. Totally weird.
For the people out there listening, intersectionality is a where it's probably easier to use a description to describe it rather than an actual meaning. So let's say, for example, don't use Black Lives Matter, for example, for this one. So a lot of it is saying that black men were getting attacked by police. So because they were black, lower social economical standards, there was a lot of discrimination against people from those societies. So that's sort of like how the intersectionality was coming into play. It's a form of discrimination based on multiple issues, so age, sex, race, medical conditions, and I think religion was another one in there.
So the idea is it's more than one particular thing.
Yeah, so
but
you
who's creating those kind of subgroups or intersectionality? Who's creating this? Are they self-labels that people are putting?
No, not really. So if you are... and the only reason I know about it, to be fair, is I've done something which is intersectionality and climate justice. So if you're a woman who's a carer, all right, and in a first world country like Australia, and climate becomes difficult to deal with, and we're all, you know, going through low water, low food, etc., etc. We've probably got a reasonable chance that it will be tough for us. We might return to something similar to the 50s, 40s, 30s maybe, where we're struggling a little bit. All right. If you're that same woman and you're living on a Pacific island, and while you're trying to care for your family, your husband disappears because he's in a boat off the ocean, and all of a sudden, you know, your house, which was 10 metres from the beach, is now a real true beachside resident. You know, your children are getting waterborne diseases because there's no clean water. Your layers of pain, if you like, are much greater. And it's where those things intersect. So it's not just, it's so layered and complex. And while it sounds like it's a Me Too moment, it is actually a wake up moment. You know, we need to have a look. It's like the woman that's a nurse that is working for 12 hours. And, you know, she's not getting paid enough to do that work.
So
she's highly qualified.
For some people.
It's a reality it is a reality of life. And the problem is that we get so many labels thrown at us that one of the things we forget to do is have a look at how that layering effect is working. For instance, my parents are, they're pensioners, right? They're white, clearly. I'm white. So they're white. They're Anglo-Saxon, you know, whatever. My dad had, you know, they had 7 kids. My dad is now in his 70s. My mum is also in her 70s. She's actually a little bit older than him. And they never put aside a lot of money. Their socioeconomic level is very low. They're on a pension. They still give too much. Dad has now got bowel cancer, so intersected with that is ill health. Intersected with that is the fact that, you know, they're slowly degrading. They live in private rental because the social housing system in WA is abominable. The lists are so incredibly long. You know, those sorts of things. It layers upon layers upon layers of what actually hurts people and causes pain is what intersectionality is about.
Well, now that I know Leanne's answer to that, I'm changing my original get over it, because I thought it was just labels, to more understanding. Am I allowed to do that? Is that part of the game?
No, you're cheating.
Yeah, no, well, understanding is important.
Well, the whole purpose of this show is to be able to understand different sides of politics. So, you know what? You've just learned something about an issue, which I think, hey, the show's just succeeded.
Did you know what intersectionality without an X is? You've just learned something too, my friend. We both did. I think we all did. The listeners did as well, I'm sure.
I have a bit of it, and I know it's not the well, it kind of is the Travis show, but we're about Leanne today. And so what I've been thinking about this for a while, and so I'm a big fan of Denzel Washington.
Yes,
and
so
he did this really great post, especially during when Black Lives Matter happened and the George
Soros.
Not
Soros. Sorry, George Floyd.
I was going to say Foreman.
It was Floyd.
Not Floyd. George Floyd got killed by the cop. So what he was saying, instead of saying corrupt white cop kills black man, it should be corrupt cop kills man. So he was saying that we need to remove the labels to stop.
Yeah.
Well, all labels to stop labelling people, because once you start labelling people, you're starting to create that division, and where there's division, there's always discrimination, them versus us.
Absolutely.
So, my thought is to get rid of this intersection. Now, nearly did it there. To stop the because a lot of the discrimination isn't intentional; it's an accidental thing.
Stop labelling.
Rather than saying, "All right, so we've got to focus on these people and ignore everyone else," why don't we just look at each person's situation? Right, have you got enough money for food? Are you healthy enough? Have you got the education you need? Look at each individual situation and get rid of the labels. So I would really, really love to see that. And
I think care to understand, that's the key.
That's what you call a caring economy. It's also where the universal basic income comes in. It's also where understanding that we're not alone on this damn planet. We're part of it.
Yeah,
you know, and we're part of all of everything that is, and we might as well own up to the fact that while ever we think that we're up here, we humans, we neglect an entire spectrum of life, and that includes other humans.
So, yeah, what I'd love to do, because I am just conscious of the time, we do have 2 more words, and you did touch on one just then, but we'll get to that in a minute. This is I won't say a stab out the Liberal Party, but the Liberal Party seems to be harping on about this one for a bit, is net zero emissions.
2035.
Okay.
I'm going to say clean air.
I'm going to say not possible at this stage.
Okay.
There's way too much stuff happening that's not going to make that possible.
Okay.
And we're behind India, by the way. I think Leanne said 2035. That might be the national ambition here for us. India's like 2030 for net zero emissions. And they're pushing very hard for that.
I've heard, I think it was 2050, the World Health Organization, not the World Health, the UN is pushing.
Right.
So why 2035?
Look, my personal feeling on this is the sooner we move to start to do something about it, like 10, 15, maybe even 20 years ago would have been good. The sooner we move, the more chance we've got of, we're never going to arrest what's happening. You know, a glacier just collapsed in India. That collapsed from the bottom up, not from the top down. So the ice didn't melt on the top and it collapsed. The water came from underneath and it collapsed, which tells you something weird's happening somewhere.
Where was that? Sorry.
That was that big dam that got flooded by the glacier. So the collapse happened sort of underneath because it still looked icy on the top.
Okay.
So we are actually hitting a crunch point. And regardless of any of the science around that, the reality is that a glacier collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it killed people, but a glacier collapsed. Hello, let's wake up just a little bit.
Going on, right?
That's it. So it's time to address the situation as best we can from here, but we need to address it faster rather than slower. And yes, you're absolutely right. It is going to be a very difficult task to do. And whatever we're breathing, net zero emissions is a difficult thing because we emit as we breathe. But we need to be doing more to ensure that we maintain those, the canopy covers and the things like that that actually transpire cooling air.
More trees.
More trees.
It's funny you say that, more trees, because I was reading a report. One of the biggest ways that you can actually remove carbon out of the atmosphere is actually the ocean.
Sure.
So protecting ocean life and
Very
everything along
important.
that. Because you've got to remember, our bones and everything like that is made up of carbon as well. So whales were, and this is one of the big bad things about whales being hunted to extinction, is they're a massive carbon sink. So protecting our waterways and all that sort of stuff is really, really important. Not just the trees. Like, yes, trees are important, but also don't forget the oceans, the rivers, and all that sort of stuff. They suck a lot of carbon out.
That's
of the environment
sacred.
as well.
Our ocean life. That really should be
Absolutely
sacred.
sacred.
This is a personal question for me, because I live south of the river. The Kwinana Outer Harbour, is there a reason why the Greens haven't had much of an impact on that? They haven't been trying to prevent that from being constructed and the destruction of Cockburn Sound, after especially how hard they fought to stop Row 8?
Okay, they fought to stop Row 8 because that the Billia wetlands are a sacred site, in essence. You know, it's a complex and difficult thing to talk policy when you're not a member of Parliament. That's a really difficult thing to do. I don't know where we stand on the Outer Harbour. We possibly are either pushing against it or not. I'm not 100% sure.
I know Labor's really pushing to have it constructed. There is a Aboriginal community down there that have said, I've spoken to a few of the people about it, they said it is actually a very important site for them. I'm not very up to date with the Aboriginal history side of things. I put it down to my schooling. Like they just don't cover much when I went to school.
You mean they didn't tell you about the sacred sites that should be protected?
They just said, the first people in Australia were Aboriginals, and that was it. So I must admit, what's important to Australians doesn't really get covered in our education system. So that's one thing I'd really love to see. I think I learnt more British and American history than what I did on Australian history. So
Native Indian Americans, yeah.
Yeah, so General Custard and all that sort of stuff. And like, what's that got anything to do with Australia? But anyway, the Outer Harbour, couple of the big things, I actually read the EPA report. So they want to do detonations to clear out the bedrock to make it deep enough. And also they'd have to constantly be dredging, which causes massive soil erosion, and the wiping out of the grass seabed, which is breeding grounds. So I'd actually love to see more information shared about the outer harbour and the actual environmental consequences from that. And it's just... The amount of reporting that was done on Row 8 versus the reporting on what's happening in the outer harbour, it just seems dodgy. So it just seems really dodgy considering the environmental impact from it.
It's, as I said, it's difficult unless I actually know the position as to why or what, or even if they're behind it. The fact that we haven't been seen to have a stance on it is nothing to do with whether we do or do not.
Yeah.
And everything to do with how little reporting we actually get unless we make a damn big noise.
Yeah.
Well, little reporting is one thing. Getting false reports is another entirely. And there's been a lot of that lately.
Absolutely.
Where they make you look this way instead of looking at the truth.
Am
I opening up a can here?
No, I was just going to say
media.
not the West Australian. Yeah, the West Australian. Perth Now.
Right.
They're notorious for it. So
I'm not sure which of the commercial ones are more notorious for false reporting than the others, but it's going that way even with the ABC, which is taxpayers' money. They've become very commercial and very, very biased.
So, no, I must admit, I've been to a few press conferences, and there's a few people from a station that it's not 8 and it's not 6 and it's somewhere in between.
Is it 7?
I didn't say that. So their boss, the chief political editor, for some reason he just doesn't like me, and he likes to really draw out his essence. So anyway,
do you know? By the way, just on that, because but all these different numbers. Do you know why 10 is afraid of 7?
Because 8, 9. Hey.
Because 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, great.
I had to bring something in there.
We can tell who the dad is.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Anyway, we are past the. We're actually.
We got last word.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble with
I'm
our
a
sponsors.
tickler for this one because I've got a really good answer.
But it's not a big conversation. I'm going to get into a lot of trouble. So we do need to go through a quick message, and we'll be back after this. So, Leanne, you've been fantastic. Please stick around because we do have one last question. Yeah?
Yep.
Stick around. Perfect.
Absolutely.
So, Travis Carter, Carter's Corner, Elaine, Bass, and Leanne will be back shortly.
Naughty words are coming. Language warning.
Sponsor City of Joondalup's website at joondalup.wa.gov.au and subscribe to an e-newsletter. You'll find everything you need to know about community, events, updates and job vacancies. Register today for this free service.
89.7 subscribes to the Community Broadcasting Codes of Practice, which outlines standards relating to program content, including news and current affairs, Australian music and sponsorship announcements. The codes also outline the principles of diversity, independence and volunteerism for community broadcasting. If you have a complaint regarding something you have heard on this station, you should put your complaint in writing and send it to the station. If you would like a copy of the Codes of Practice, visit www.cbaa.org.au.
The 89.7 Community File.
Have you heard about the Wanneroo and Community Suicide Prevention Network? It is a group of community members who have been bereaved by suicide, have experienced ideation and attempt survivors partnering alongside service providers and the broader community. The network's focus is to promote positive mental wellbeing, the prevention of suicide through encouraging meaningful conversations, awareness raising, cooperative training, personalised support groups for those people who have experienced ideation or survived an attempt, community presentations and supporting organisations. Head along to their monthly meeting on the second Tuesday of the month from 9:30am to 11am at 11 Rockaway Road, Wanneroo. Or check them out on Facebook for the latest updates on community-based suicide prevention, as suicide prevention is everyone's business. If you are in need of support, please contact Lifeline on 13 11 14 to speak with trained professional counsellors 24/7.
Promote your non-profit organisation or community group, and it's free. Head to our website at 897fm.com.au. The following program may contain coarse language. Listener discretion is advised.
And I can feel it on my own, and I don't know what to do when she calls me home. The sun is on my back, and I don't know if she can feel it too. And I don't know where feels it all. So just give me the real you, the only you home, the only you feel, the only you soul.
On Carter's Corner. We're just having a giggle and a few jokes here, so please be nice to us. Okay, so we've had a changing of guard, but then we tried to kick Bass out and he won't. Anyway, so Travis Carter, Carter's Corner. We've got Bass on the blue mic. We've still got Leanne on the green mic. Now, Josie on the yellow mic. Welcome. So Josie's a bit of a special one. So I'll let you quickly do your introduction. So Josie, you are the sister.
I am. I'm Leanne's little sister, the youngest, of the 7 kids, and the youngest foster sister. So I'm from Karratha. I was born under a tree in Raven, and Leanne's mum and dad actually fostered me. So, and I've been with them, and they can't get rid of me. I'm still here.
What a beautiful story. That is a beautiful story.
So originally, Josie didn't want or wasn't planning on coming on the mics, but I was like, you know what? The story is just too awesome. We've got to get her in here, and we've been massively supporting local artists on the show today, and I found out Josie can sing and she's got an original song. Yeah, so we will be chucking that one on a bit later. So the reason we couldn't kick Bass out of the studio, and trust me, I tried, he clung on.
I was going to hum for the song that Josie was going to sing. That's what I wanted to stay for.
So you're the backing vocalist.
The bass, the bass. Well, since we haven't got a guitar here, we may as well have a bass.
Dwayne, can you get me a bat? If I break his kneecaps, maybe we can get him out.
He keeps begging me to come back. Now he wants to make me an intersectionality person. One that got his legs busted on radio.
So obviously, this is all jokes. We're not trying to hit him. But no, we are going to finish this word association game. And this is what he wants to stick around for. So My producer's writing is terrible, and it looks like Cairns economy. I found out it's actually
The man's a
caring
genius.
economy.
Caring economy.
His mind runs faster than the pen can keep up, so that's why it looks like hieroglyphics.
Yep.
Anyway, so caring economy.
Everyone.
All right, everyone.
I'm dying to say this. Vote 1 Health Australia Party. Caring economy.
Okay, so now you said it. Out you go. No,
Okay.
no. We are bringing Jenny, the tarot reader, back in because there's a few more tarots that we were planning to do, but time sort of like slipped away because I'm awesome at keeping track
Would you
of
like
time.
me to call her back in and give her my seat? I'm happy to do that.
I think we should because she's been good enough. She's stuck around for us. Bass, do you mind bringing Jenny back in for us?
Happy to.
Fantastic. So while you do that, you don't hear a few clanking on the radio, but that's the door opening and closing. So going back to Leanne. So before today, I never actually heard what a caring economy is. It's like just a happy-feely economy, or like what is a caring economy first?
A socially responsible economy. In other words, where everyone is lifted up. No one is the backbone for someone else, and no one is the underpinning of everyone else's comfort. So, in other words, a truly caring economy, putting people before dollars, if you like.
Okay, so no, I'm just processing this. So I'll just get you move forward, Jenny, because you're way too far away from that mic. So welcome back to the studio.
Thank you.
So a caring economy is an economy based around making sure no one falls through the gaps, everyone is looked after. So pretty much if you just took the labels off everyone and made sure everyone had the standard living requirements, would that be pretty close to a caring economy?
It would be, but it's an economy that provides more social housing, better social infrastructure. If you imagine a city where everyone can move around freely and easily, places which are dementia safe.
Sorry, when you said moving around freely and fairly, I just thought, yeah, WA borders.
Oh, hells. Look, as soon as we can, I'm going to be on the road again travelling. So, you know, it's more than that. It's about actually remembering that everyone is a human being at the end of the day, and that as such we deserve to be treated with respect.
Well, I can understand that one, so that's fine. My first thing that comes to mind, considering I think we're about $40 billion in debt, just WA alone, Australia-wide. Last I heard it was like 700 billion, and that was pre-COVID, so I hate to see what it is now. How expensive would a caring economy be? Like, what sort of tax, because you got to get the money from somewhere. So
let's try taxing them, their corporations.
I'd love to hear that.
There you go.
So I know a lot of the everyday people, as long as there's no increases tax to them. But yeah, like major corporations, I heard Apple did not pay a single cent of tax in Australia.
You know, I want you to think back to the Gillard era when she was putting the carbon tax in place. And I want you to think about who moved hard and fast to prevent it. I want you to think about the resource rent tax and who was destroyed in preventing that from happening, and who moved hard and fast to prevent it. Once you think about the big mining industries, the big corporations that sit, you know, across the entire spectrum of society, and you realise how little they pay in tax compared to an ordinary person such as the three of us sitting here, yourself. You know, if you actually look at it in terms of percentages, let's just put it this way: tax those that should be being taxed, and allow not trickle down but lift up economics to actually take up the slack.
That's a fair call. So I'm not an economist, so I'm not sure how that was actually going to look in the real world.
My
So
husband is.
We might need to get him onto the show.
Good luck.
I've tried to get a few economists and they keep... So if you're an economist out there and you understand the Australian tax system, political systems and all that, and you want to have a bit of a chat with us, hit us up. So Facebook is Carter's Corner, YouTube, Travis Carter. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Also, so just again, the Greens website is...
greens.org.au.
Fantastic. Josie, do you have any pages for your musical stuff?
No, not really. The song, the Red Dirt, is on iTunes, and Red Dirt was actually the song that was sang for the Deaths in Custody. The 30th anniversary of Deaths in Custody. So
fantastic. Yeah. So Red Dirt by, is it just Josie?
Josie Alec.
Josie Alec.
Yeah.
Hang on, we just had a message come through. Sorry, I just saw the ping in the side of my eyes. So we've had a message come through. Should people vote for Mark McGowan since he cut the police budget by a massive $250 million and media is not even bringing this up? I'm seeing people affected by meth walking all over the roads all over Perth. And that's from Dan. So thank you very much for getting that through to us, Dan. Dwayne, he's not really paying attention. I'll throw something at him in a minute. Can you have a look at how much Mark McGowan cut the police budget for us? That just seems, and the reason I'm checking that is that seems like an insane amount of money to cut a police budget when crime in WA is like not really the greatest at the moment. Thoughts? Have you heard the figure 250 million?
No, I haven't heard the figure 250 million.
That's huge.
It is a lot. Who knows?
Wow. Okay. I wonder if that explains why the car got crashed into his office today.
No, that's probably just either really bad driving or someone who just doesn't think he's that sexy.
Yeah. No, so if you're wondering why I'm laughing, there's an actual song out there saying how sexy Mark McGowan is. So Josie, is that your song?
No, it's got nothing to do with me. No.
Okay, so awesome. So what we're going to do, that was the last question. So thank you very much for going through that with us, Leanne. So there was actually some curly ones there, which I thought was quite enjoyable. So I hope you ladies enjoyed it as well. We wanted to do the Liberal Party tarots before. So I'm looking at you there, Jenny.
Yes.
I nearly called you Leanne. I was like, oh, shocking.
I wouldn't be offended by that.
So my question is, let's do a one card. Mm-hmm. You cool with the one card?
Yep.
Hang on, producer's waving his hands at me. Slash 250 million from his budget over 5 years. So it was over 5 years. It looks like that's actually 100% correct. He did slash 250 million. That's shame on you, Mark McGowan. Sorry, but shame on you. So let's do a tarot card reading. A single card. Liberal Party. Will they still be considered a major party after this election? Oh, she's sensing. I can feel the spiritual energy. I don't know if that's true or not. But.
Yeah.
Okay, it's pink and blue on the back.
Yes, the card. It's the Eight of Swords.
Eight of Swords. I'm blown away by the artwork. So whoever made these cards, well done.
Pamela Matthews. She's
right.
a New Zealand artist and does some absolutely beautiful work.
Like, it's phenomenal. And I'm looking at it. I don't think it's painted. I think it's actually like hand drawn and coloured and all that. So Pamela,
it's one of the reasons I love working with these cards are the pictures.
They're phenomenal. So, okay, so we've got, I think it's a chick. I'm looking at it upside down. So if you don't mind just showing the camera for the people.
So, yes.
That's a pretty funky crown.
It is. And the Eight of Swords can be a difficult card because the old tarot cards that I was talking about before that I used, it was a person literally being surrounded by swords and the feeling of never being able to escape.
Do I say it? So I've attacked Kirkup enough. So to me, an opposition leader is there to defend people who the policies from the other people are already against. So they're supposed to be like the backbone. They're supposed to be a thorn in the side of the sitting government. And it just seems every time Kirkup turns around, he's agreeing with the Labor Party. And like, why would you vote for someone who's just agreeing with whoever's already in? So I may or may not have called him a spineless jellyfish in the past. And so with this cards, the Eight of Swords, that kind of hints that he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. There's, there can be a lot of pain, a lot of fear, a lot of anguish within that. But what people don't realise, it's just the removal of that one sword gives them a space.
Mm-hmm. So I think if he can hold on and save his seat, I wonder if that's the removal of the one sword that will give him the courage to stand up, to be a legitimate... because a lot of people are saying he's a throwaway leader. We'll fail this election, we'll throw Kirkup out, and then we'll get another leader in who will lead us. So I think if Kirkup can actually stand his ground, win his seat. Like I said, I wonder if that's the removal of that one sword.
But there's a different perspective because the 5 and the 7 goes down to 12, which is the hanged man.
Sorry, 12.
I was good at maths. Which it was the card of the hanged man, and that's literally about looking at something from a different view, looking at something from a different perspective, because he's literally hanging upside down.
Okay.
So it's about taking a step back and seeing what's really there through fresh eyes.
Interesting. I've got a few speculations, but they're absolutely 100% speculation, so we won't go there. So what would I do? Are you ready to sing?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so what I'm thinking we're going to do, we're going to go to a message. Sorry, I'm just checking the playlist to make sure we've got everything lined up. So when I go to a message, after the message, I'll introduce you. We'll hit up a song.
No problem.
And then we'll come back and talk about other stuff. So I'm really excited about this. This is the first time we've ever had live music in the studio. This is totally unplanned, and I'll sort your levels out on this side. So we're going to go to a quick message. We'll be right back.
Beautiful.
This is Carter's Corner, 89.7 FM. We have Leanne from the Greens, the superstar celebrity tarot reader Jenny, and Josie, last name again, sorry?
Alec.
Josie Alec, about to bust out her own individual song. Yeah. What was it?
Red Dirt.
Red Dirt. So awesome. We'll be right back after this.
Worries.
Are you or someone you know currently struggling with life, or maybe showing signs of depression, anxiety or stress? Whatever the problem, the dedicated team at station sponsor Delta Psychology are here for you and may be able to help. Their highly qualified team have many years of experience in psychology and mental health and focus on providing the best high-quality care available. For more information, go to deltapsychology.com.
Discover your best self at Wanneroo Aquamotion. Tone up in our state-of-the-art gym. Turn up the dial in a high-intensity body pump or spin class. Or make a splash in our indoor lap and leisure pools. There is even a creche to care for the kids while you work out. Visit wanneroo.wa.gov.au/aquamotion or call 94055 999 to sign up today.
Sit back, relax and fasten your seatbelt. Joining the dots will take you to the edge of the Musiversum.
Listen, learn, discover or rediscover, but most of all enjoy an eclectic mix on Joining the Dots. Saturday from 9 to midnight. Only on 89.7.
All right, so this is Travis Carter's Corner. We're live in Studio 1. So we do have Josie here with her... How's new's the song?
It was done in 2013.
So it's a bit of a song out there for a bit. So it is on iTunes. It is on the Muru album that was dedicated to John Pat. So he is unfortunately the gentleman that did pass away in custody, and actually, from what I've been told, it sparked an inquiry that found a lot of problems and hopefully solved a lot of problems as well. But there's definitely more needs to be done.
That's right.
So because any death is a death unneeded. So okay, so Red Dirt, Josie, take it away.
Thank you. All right. Ready? Sorry. Yeah. I am a mother from this great land. Like every other, I have big plans. My country, family, the things I do. No way in this lifetime I could do without you. I came back home where I was born. And from this place, I can't be torn. When things get hard, my family's always there. All my worries, I know that I can share. 'Cause the red dirt here is all the same. The path we follow should have no shame. So when I walk with my head high. And with my spirit, I'm not afraid to try. I said I'm not afraid to try. I'm not afraid to try. I'm not afraid to try. There you go. There's a little bit of it.
Well, I need you to turn around and have a look. I think you've just probably sold, 1 million copies just on that one performance. So I just got to fix these levels up. Obviously, whenever you're singing, you're belting out a lot louder, so I had to drop your levels quite a bit. So, damn, you can sing. I must admit, I hear a lot of people, oh, you're on the radio, I can sing, and then you listen to singing, and you're like, oh my God, that's terrible. But no, it's, wow.
Thank you.
So, Red Dirt, Muru.
Yep.
Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah, Muru. Yeah.
Muru. And John Pat tribute album, and it's on iTunes. So please make sure you get out there, give it some like. Now I'm going to have a question to Dwayne. Dwayne, can you find it, get a link to the iTunes one, and chuck it on my Facebook for me, please? Is he nodding? Yes. Can you get it? It's on iTunes. Okay, he's into action. So I think we'll see what happens. Maybe we can get you into the top 20. The top 40 Australian tracks. So I have to say, that oh, I got goosebumps. Like, I've got hairy arms and they're all standing up on hands. So, that was brilliant.
Thank you.
That Apple. Apple, he runs a Linux computer. It doesn't have iTunes on it. I'll sort that one out later. I'll make sure I find it for you. Okay, so we've covered Liberals. We're heading back to the celebrity in the room. So we've covered Liberals. We've spoken about Labor. Let's talk about some of the candidates that were in here tonight. So let's nail Bass. He's been on here all day. He's not paying attention. Let's nail Bass. Oh, he's looking. All right, so with the Bass, will he be kicked out in the first round?
Oh, that's mean.
It is mean. So for those that don't understand, in the upper house, they do a count, and whoever's last, they pull them out, and then whoever they preference, the votes will go to the next person. Then they recount it, and they pull the next person out, and they go, oh, it's a pink card on the back.
It's the bottle is called Unconditional Love.
Unconditional love. So I think if Bass loses, he's still going to love us because that's just Bass.
It is, but being a sword, all swords are double-edged.
But it's a 7.
It is. No, well, it goes down to a 7, but it's the Queen of Swords.
Queen of Swords.
So there's a lot of power, a lot of energy there, but you've always got to be careful because it's like, as you can see, she's holding a snake there.
Yep.
And the double-edged sword.
Double-edged sword. Even though you can cut someone, it can cut you back.
Exactly.
So, what I'll do, because these is really, really entertaining for me. Can I get you to flip that around, just show you the camera for us? Because just look at that artwork. That's. Hang on, I might hold it a little bit closer. That is phenomenal artwork. Like, I struggled to draw stick figures. That's amazing. So Bass, double-edged sword for you. You could get out in the first round, but you'll still love us. He's agreeing. He's nodding while drinking his coffee. Okay, so
you have coffee.
Well, did you want a coffee? No.
When I get
so the next question is, Leanne. Will Leanne absolutely dominate the seat of Kalamunda?
Well, she doesn't. She should. Personal opinion.
I think you've got one vote right there.
If I lived in Kalamunda.
Yeah.
Shuffle. How important when you're doing this is the shuffling?
Judgment.
Here we go.
Bringing out the childlike self.
Mm-hmm.
So
hopefully
that's the judgment. Okay, so you can see the child between the two adults. So judgment is about letting go of preconceptions, letting go of what all the books say, what you've read, what you've seen, what you've done, and just trusting what's within the self, because it's about balance. It's pink and blue, the yin and the yang.
Okay.
So it's working on those energies. Anything with 2 is about choices, pathways, and the 0 is about completion. It's the full. So a leap of faith, which you always are willing to take, will set you onto a path, and you just have to see which one it goes.
So has that resonated with you? Can you see meaning in that description?
Yes, absolutely. I know the tarot fairly well as well, particularly in association with the Tree of Life, believe it or not.
Okay.
But let me say, there's a child there, or a young person.
It's the renewal.
It is the renewal. And if you look at our list of candidates, you might actually see there may very well be a change in that seat.
Okay.
It'd be lovely if it did fall green, but my feeling on it is
okay. So it's
different.
I've noticed that there's the cards I've seen, there's quite a bit of talk about renewal, the youth. There's a very, very small child on that one. One thing I've noticed looking at the politics this year, there's a lot more younger candidates, and we'll look at Kirkup. He's even young compared to me, so 33 years of age. I think the youngest is Tyler Walsh, which is the North Metro candidate for One Nation. I think there was a Labor guy. It's not Rockhampers, that's Mark McGowan. I think it's down south in the South Metro area who was like late 20s. So there seems to be a lot more younger people coming into this sort of thing. Is this a kind of like a changing of the guard? Because politics used to always be the old man's game. And now I'm noticing there's a lot more women getting involved. There's a lot more the younger generation getting involved. Could this be an indication of the renewal, like you're saying, like the whole tree of life?
Well, for me, it needs to be, because I think the younger generation can maybe understand the struggles we're going through now, whereas the older generation are looking what was. So maybe the newer generation, the younger generation, can look at it and say, okay, so I saw mum and dad go through that. I don't want to go through it myself. I don't want my kids to go through it. So maybe they can be the start of a change.
Okay, fantastic. So I do need to just keep an eye on the time. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to another message, and then when we come back, it'll be the final segment. So what we'll do, Leanne, we'll give you a chance to have your final say. Yep. What you really want to like. This is pretty much your last chance to get in front of as many people as possible. So the floor will be yours. Go to town. And ladies, during the break, tell me anything else. Like, we've got a celebrity tarot reader here.
Yeah,
Let's pick something else out and we'll take it from there. So this is Carter's Corner, 89.7 FM. You can listen live. Also on the stream, you can watch it. So Facebook, Carter's Corner. YouTube will be Travis Carter. Give it a wave, give it a shout, give it a like and a subscribe. Because I really like, please, seriously, like and subscribe. So, all right, anyway, Carter's Corner. We'll be right back after this.
Butterfly to try to escape it. Didn't think about how you take it. Hope you haven't given up chasing. Call you when my heart starts racing. I've been thinking about you every single day since I've been away, and I know that you don't want to hear it. I've been thinking about you every single day. Will you be waiting? When I get back, I'm staying. No, it feels like I'm changing. Don't you give up just yet. Don't you give up just yet. When I get back, I'm staying. No, it feels like I'm changing. Don't you give up just yet. Don't you give up just yet. For a time, I thought I could fake it. Getting tired of the same conversations. Miles away, but I know I can't stay here. Need some time for this to become clear. I've been thinking about you every single day since I've been away, and I know that you don't want to hear it. I've been thinking about you every single day. Will you be waiting? When I get back, I'm staying. No, it feels like I'm changing. Don't you give up just yet. Don't you give up just yet. When I get back, I'm staying. No, it feels like I'm changing. Don't you give up just yet. Don't you give up just yet.
busy planning the entertainment for your next function? Maybe it's a wedding, a corporate event, or even a party. Then you need to talk to station sponsor Off the Wall Promotions. Off the Wall can provide DJ and MC services, live music and photo booths. They can even live stream your event to anywhere in the world. Operating from Yanchep to Mandurah, Off the Wall Promotions is your total entertainment specialist. Simply search the socials for Off the Wall Promotions or check out their website.
If you're not happy with your current property manager, then check out Exceed Real Estate. Exceed's experienced team are reliable, authentic, and will take responsibility for your investment property as if it was their own. They'll soothe all your investment stress. Find out why station sponsor Exceed Real Estate are the leaders in property management right across the metro area. For more information, simply go to exceedre.com.au. That's Exceed with an X. Life is better with Exceed.
Are you a small business owner looking for growth within the City of Stirling? Then why not consider becoming a member of the Stirling Business Association? The professional team can assist you in all aspects of your business. To find out more, simply search Stirling Business Association, station sponsor.
All right, Carter's Corner is back again. I actually lost my headphones, so just bear with me for a moment. All right, so while we were off air, for those that are actually listening live, they saw me shuffling some cards. No, I wasn't playing poker. So, we'll do the introductions first. So, Carter's Corner, Travis Carter on red mic. We got Josie on the yellow mic. We got Leanne on the green mic. And Jenny, blue mic. I just realised the mic matches the shirt, which is awesome. So, I was kind of hoping to pick on my producer, but instead they're picking on me this time. I asked for it, so it's okay. So for the long-term listeners, they understand we get into a bit of trouble with some of the media. So the most recent one, I was at a press conference and Jeff Parry tried to hijack it and asked if I was in a relationship with Andrea Takaji, and I'd never met her before that moment. Made a few other allegations at the press conference and whatnot. And you know when people get so angry they shake? Mm. Yeah, he was absolutely livid. I don't understand why. Anyway, so I asked him to come on the show, and he's like, "No, I'm not going on your show. Your show's crap," and had a rant and rave, and then he stormed off. So my goal for this year is I want to have a bigger reach than Jeff Parry. We're getting there. We're between about 50 to a really good show. We'll have 100,000 reach because we stream to so many different sites. So my goal this year is to get more than Jeff Parry, which is about 350,000 reach for every episode. And there's a few people laughing because they know we love pulling the mickey out of people. So that's why I was shuffling the cards. I was focusing my energy. I think I was focusing my energy. I've never done this before. I have no idea. So I'm waffling a little bit. So I did shuffle the cards. Did you want to do one card or three card?
Just do the one. But
do the one. Okay.
It's up to you.
What am I doing now?
Just cut the cards wherever you feel right.
So scissors?
Oh, no, I'd rather you didn't.
Where I feel right, eh?
Wherever you feel the energy, just cut the cards.
You know what's funny? It's feeling up here.
Mm.
Which one do we go by?
I usually go with both.
With both?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
See, that guy has an awesome beard.
Yeah, he does.
So I'm a bearded sort of person. I can grow a beard overnight, literally. So, all right. So it's a 7.
It is.
And a 58.
It is. So Ryan and Angelica.
13. Ooh, 13.
Now maybe this should be you and Jeff Parry. The two should never meet. It's the dawn and the dusk.
Well, one of the comments that I made was that Jeff Parry was at the twilight of his career. So maybe the dawn and the dusk, his is setting and I'm taking over.
The 5 and the 8 go down to 13, which is the card of death, which is a good card. Contrary to what everyone thinks, it is actually a good card. Because the card of death is about letting go of everything in the past that doesn't suit you, doesn't work with you, doesn't fit, so that more energies can come in. So basically throw out the rubbish, clean it out.
So out with the old and in with the new.
Yeah, it allows the energy, the space for new. Think of it as a jug of water, you empty it out.
And then all the air comes in.
And it allows the space for new.
So the old reporter goes out and then the new reporter comes in.
You never know. But the 7 of Swords is warning you, just be aware. Never take, only take what's given.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the energy there. But this is great because the Ace of Pentacles is saying new beginnings in a work area. So it's about new opportunities, new things coming towards you. And because it's the Pentacles, it's physical, so it's about the work opportunities.
So my producer has been massive help for the whole entire show.
Yeah.
A lot of people give me credit for it. I have to give credit to Dwayne. He hates being on the camera, so Dwayne has been a massive push. Well, not push, but a massive supporter. Like, I had this brainchild, and I was like, how do I do this? And a lot of the tech side of things was actually Dwayne's knowledge.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have done this without Dwayne. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So
That's
it
very
is
interesting.
It is a really good one. So it's about new opportunities, and because it's an ace, it's new beginnings as well. So,
And
yeah.
the 78 one, that's 15?
78 goes down to 15. The 15 is the card of the devil.
Yeah, him.
But the thing with the devil, as you saw the card before, the thing with the devil is the only person who can hold you down into the darkness is yourself.
Mhm.
All you have to do is reach up, and there's the light.
Okay.
So never stay down, always look up.
So there is a warning in there, but generally it looks optimistic for
It
Carter's
does.
Corner.
Yes.
I wonder if that would go out to the station as well because of Carter's Corner. That's right. This is fascinating. So, again, if anyone does have any quick questions, because this is the final segment on it, please send it through. The text line is 0418 897 897, or we'll see if we've got the times to squeeze it in. Of course, with Josie, that amazing song that she belted out, that is on iTunes, so we will be getting a comment up onto the Facebook with the iTunes links and all that sort of stuff for it. But the guest of the hour has been Leanne. Thank you very much for sticking around. I think originally we were just talking about a 20-minute interview, and we've gone way past that.
That's all right.
Sorry, the producer's sending a few inappropriate comments through, but that's okay. So, Leanne, the final segment, we do this for all our guests who have been on for the first time. So I'm going to open the mics to you. This is your chance to push yourself for this election. Why should WA people, especially Kalamunda people, because that's the seat you're running for, why should they vote for you instead of Labor, Liberals, the Independents, the minor parties and whatnot? So why are you over all of the rest?
Okay, so in Kalamunda, you should vote for Greens 1, and then I don't care what you do after that, because we genuinely care about the environment that is in Kalamunda. We're aware of some of the issues that are around there, and heck, there's just so many really good reasons to vote Green anyway. And then I'm going to divert a little and say you've got a really great candidate in Angelo Watts out here in Joondalup. He's a lovely young man. I'm hoping he's him, but anyway, Angelo is fantastic as a person. He's a really friendly, genuine person. And then your upper house candidate, now former MLC, and Alison, I wish you were listening right now. But honest to goodness, mate, if I say you can do it, you know what that means, babe. Anyway, so you've got Alison Zamon as your North Metro candidate. She is one heck of a woman. She is a powerhouse, highly energetic, incredibly passionate. And I tell you what, no Green that I know, none of the Green candidates, none of the Green members of Parliament would ever say they were going to do something and not do it. We walk our talk. We are real. We don't lie. And we hold that damn government, whichever one it is, to account. That's my spiel, mate.
Okay, no worries. So it's one of the things that, and while you're doing that, I was meaning to do this earlier, but I forgot to do it. And it was actually Tim Clifford, the younger gentleman I was talking about before. I didn't realise he's actually a Greens candidate. So
yes, East Metro MLC.
Yeah, so and he's actually a member of Parliament already. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of youth coming through. I just think it's awesome. So
yeah.
Fantastic. So, again, thank you very much for coming on to the show. I'm going to jump back over to Jenny just quickly. Yeah, we've got a bit of time left. Are there any, because I always remember down Rockingham Way there was a psychic fair that comes up quite regularly. Are there any events coming up shortly that you are attending? Or if someone wants you to do, being the superstar that you are, if someone wants you to do a tarot reading, and you've been extremely entertaining this show, so how would they get in contact with you?
Well, I talked to Dwayne before, and we can put my mobile number as a link on the site. I work from home.
Okay.
So as long as you're not allergic to cats or dogs, you'd be welcome to come around, because I've got a ragdoll and a German Shepherd, so the hair sort of gets everywhere.
Okay. Fantastic.
So I read from home. I also do Reiki, which is a hands-on energy healing as well.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
And now I'm going to jump over to Josie. I'm still blown away by that song.
Thank you.
So, have you got any concerts coming up? Have you got plans for another song?
Oh, look, we just did this one with Big Heart, Songs of Freedom, down at Point Walter on Saturday night, which was amazing. There was a record crowd there. So Songs of Freedom will be also on the 25th or the 18th. We're not sure. It all depends on when the football grand final's on, of course. That's actually going to be back up in Roban. So, but the Songs of Freedom look like they're going to be doing that. But otherwise, yeah, just
when it's up, make sure you get the link to the show, and we'll do what we can. Now, I know Sue listens to this. She's got a show in the mornings from 9 a.m. to, I think it's 12 lunchtime, and she gets a lot of new artists in. So, Sue, if you're listening, get this lady in. Oh, my God. That was all live. There was no editing, no warm-up, no nothing. Boy, she can sing. So, definitely. So that's been an absolute massive show for us. So, ladies...
Can I jump in with something just very quickly? Josie, myself, and a friend of ours by the name of Izellah are going to be up at Karajini for the Karajini experience in April.
Okay.
One of my other skill sets, which is why Dwayne contacted me in the first place, will be on show at Karajini. I'm not prepared to talk about that tonight because I am here primarily as a Greens candidate.
Okay.
But Josie is also a traditional healer.
Oh, fantastic.
And Izellah is,
unique.
Yeah,
Very
unique.
Healer.
Yeah, she's unique.
So we do healing workshops up at Karajini. So that's from the 6th to the 10th at the Karajini experience. So we'll be there all week, and we do a workshop every day. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Dwayne. Can we get the details of the Karajini experience?
Yeah.
So can we get the details of that put up on the site as well? Now, I have no idea how to spell Karajini.
K-A-R-I-N-J-A.
There you go. Did you catch that, Dwayne? If not, too bad. We'll get it off the recording. So that's been phenomenal. Ladies, again, I cannot thank you enough. It's been phenomenal. I'd love to get you back on after the election to tell us how you went, how the Greens went. Were you happy with the experience? Things that you think the Electoral Commission can fix on, any issues that came up. And I always like seeing positive change. So how can we positively change the experience to make sure things are fairer and there's more robust debate. So hopefully you'll agree to come on.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, love it. Okay, so we are... Oh, hang on. We did have a message come through. I recognise this number. Oh, ha. Sue... She's actually one of the big bosses as well. I'm listening, Travis. Send me her details.
Okay, no
worries. So we'll get you on the show. We'll definitely. Well,
sure.
It's from the boss, so
yeah. There's actually one other thing that I really need to do, and that's acknowledge the Whadjuk Noongar people and the land that we're on today as well. Being someone from the Pilbara, that's a cultural thing that I would like to do too, just to acknowledge the people. Thank you. Yeah.
So awesome. So that has been Carter's Corner on 89.7 FM. Again, you can listen live at 897fm.com.au. Also, the stream is up on YouTube. Facebook, and we'll be on YouTube tomorrow. So if you ladies want a copy of it or you want to send it to your friends, please do, because we need the followers.
Yeah. We need to get up to 350,000.
Easy, just to give Jeff the whoops. So anyway, I'm going to call it here. We're going to jump into a quick song, and then we're going to do some messages, and from there, we're going to take it from there. So this has been Carter's Corner.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, and we will be back next Tuesday. All right, cheers, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
water tasting at your place. Could it do with a healthy refresh? Our station sponsor, West Oz Water Filters, has the answer for you. Healthy families and communities have been their priority for over 20 years. They listen to your water filtration needs and will recommend a system to solve your home or caravan problem. A proud family WA business, West Oz Water Filters is here for you. To find out more, simply search West Oz Water Filters and make an appointment today.
It is possible to stop using drugs.
We can help.
Call Narcotics Anonymous, 1300 652 820.
Or look us up on the web, na.org.au.
Living, Laughing and Learning with Lisa and JR on 89.7 FM.
Yo, it's Steve.